उसका ऊपर से ध्यान हटाने के लिए ये पूरा एक कपट कारस्तान हो गया है और उसकी तैयारी पहले से चल रही थी। हमने ये महाराष्ट्र जो गौतम अडानी के जेब में जा रहा है, मुंबई जेब में जा रहे हैं, हमने विरोध किया। ये अडानी राष्ट्र नहीं होने देंगे, तो इसके लिए इस प्रकार के नतीजे महाराष्ट्र के ऊपर लाद गए हैं। ये जनता का कौल हो ही नहीं सकता। महाराष्ट्र की जनता का मन हमें मालूम है, ये हो ही नहीं सकता है।
राउत साहब, दिख रहा है कि लाडली बहन जो सरकार,
अरे लाडली भाई, यहाँ लाडले भाई है, लाडले नाना जी है, लाडले दादाजी है, सब कुछ लाडले है ना यहाँ। हमको मालूम है क्या है ये। इतनी ये निर्णय जो आया है, ये नतीजा आया है, ये जनता का निर्णय नहीं है, मैं इतना ही कहूंगा।
नहीं राउत साहब, लेकिन लोकसभा चुनाव के वक्त आपने जो जनता ने कॉल दिया उसको
उस वक्त भी हमने कहा था मोदी जी हार गए हैं, लेकिन चाहे महाराष्ट्र हो चाहे और स्टेट में गड़बड़ की है। महाराष्ट्र के नतीजे भी उससे ज्यादा आने वाले थे अच्छे। हमारी 4 या 5 सीटें लोगों ने चोरी की है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ।
नहीं, पर राउत साहब, अब दिख रहा है कि महाराष्ट्र के विधानसभा में विपक्ष के लिए भी कुछ, मतलब विपक्ष
यही लोकसभा के 2 चुनाव में 2014-2019 में मोदी और शाह ने यही किया था कि विपक्ष का नेता कांग्रेस को नहीं मिलना चाहिए। इस बार भी वही स्ट्रेटेजी महाराष्ट्र में की है कि विधानसभा में कोई विपक्ष का नेता नहीं रहेगा। ये हमेशा बीजेपी की स्ट्रेटेजी रहती है।
लेकिन आप कह रहे कि कुछ गड़बड़ है।
गड़बड़ तो है।
गड़बड़ क्या है? मतलब
अभी
ईवीएम में गड़बड़ है या
अरे भाई ठहरो,
फंडिंग हुआ है,
पूरे नतीजे आने तो हम बाद में बात करेंगे ना, क्यों नहीं करेंगे। पैसा तो ऐसा है कि हर चुनाव क्षेत्र में नोटों की मशीन लगाई थी। अरे शिंदे का एक भी उम्मीदवार सिटिंग एमएलए गिरता नहीं, और शिंदे ये बोल रहे थे हमारा एक भी सिटिंग विधायक गिरेगा नहीं। आपको मालूम होगा तो मैं इस्तीफा दूंगा। ऐसा होता है क्या चुनाव में कभी? हमारा एक भी नहीं गिरेगा। ये कौन सा भरोसा है? ये कौन सा लोकतंत्र है? 200 के ऊपर किसी को चुनाव में नतीजे मिलते हैं क्या? जिस देश में, जिस राज्य में सबसे बड़ी बेईमानी हो गई है, इस राज्य की जनता बेईमान नहीं है। ये नतीजे ऐसे दिए आपने कि अपने राज्य को, जनता को बेईमान ठहराया है। इस राज्य की जनता बेईमान नहीं है।
जो नतीजे आ रहे हैं वो महाविकास आघाड़ी को कबूल है नहीं? आगे की क्या भूमिका रहेगी?
नतीजे कबूल नहीं है, मैं मानता हूं जनता को भी नतीजे कबूल नहीं है। जनता को भी ये जनता का निर्णय नहीं हो सकता है। मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूं और मुझे बार बार आप वही सवाल पूछ रहे हैं।
लेकिन जो महाविकास आघाड़ी के कुल आंकड़े दिखाई दे रहे हैं, कुल संख्या दिखाई दे रहे हैं, उससे ज्यादा शिंदे गुट के
कैसा हो सकता है? आप अपने मन को पूछे, आप पत्रकार है, आप अपने मन को पूछे क्या महाराष्ट्र में संभव है? आप अपने मन को पूछे कि महाराष्ट्र में शिंदे को 60 सीटें मिलती है, संभव है क्या? ये अजीत पवार को 40 सीटें मिलती है, क्या ये संभव है? भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 125 सीटें मिलती है, क्या संभव है? क्या इस राज्य की जनता भी बेईमान है? इस राज्य की जनता बेईमान नहीं है, उसके ऊपर हमारा विश्वास है। चलिए, थैंक यू।
What is in bad
that's
taste
crazy.
there? It's in bad taste to discredit
No,
the
the
voters
problem with
or the mandate.
Sanjay Raut is part of the problem of the Shiv Sena UBT. He comes every day.
If there is one person who should be sacked, this is the guy.
He comes every
He disturbed the Aghadi consistently.
Supriya Shone, do you concur with your allies' opinion that this election was rigged? This is discrediting the people's mandate, Supriya.
I have said what I have to say, and I think I have said it very clearly. I've been on your show now for about 37 minutes. I have countered everything that you guys have said. I've said what I have to say.
So you don't think there were any unfair means? This is a fair verdict, and you have to accept it whichever way you introspect.
Look, I do believe what the people do in an election has to be accepted by everybody. Do I believe that the BJP doesn't use unfair means? Absolutely not. I think it does. But I am not going to sit here and cry foul. I think we accept the verdict in Jharkhand. We also accept the verdict in Maharashtra, and I think we'll have to go back to the drawing board. Did the delay in Maharashtra elections by the Election Commission help the BJP and its allies? Of course it did.
No, but
today
so
is
when a
not the time
Sanjay
to
Raut
talk
says
about that.
Adani
Today
is
the time to
no, so
accept
when a
it humbly.
Sanjay Raut ma'am says Adani is a ladli bhai of the BJP, are you going to, or ladka bhai of the BJP, are you going to say that's unfortunate, that's regrettable? Because the moment you start making these statements, it appears like you are sore losers,
But-
and that you
No,
instead
no,
of
one second.
introspecting, you're finding reasons for your massive defeat.
No, but more than anything else, the voters have spoken. You know,
so
they tried to make...
I mean, is this the moment for him to... Yes, go ahead.
No. Can I finish? Can
Yes,
I please
ma'am.
finish? In the last 40 minutes, I have introspected very, very loudly with all of you. I have not been defiant, and I have said the BJP has reasons to celebrate in Maharashtra, just like they have reasons to introspect in Jharkhand. And for me, two states equally matter. But as far as the point about Mr. Adani is concerned, Mr. Adani is very close to the BJP. Mr. Adani was toppling a democratically elected government, as was said by one of their allies, Ajit Pawar. Mr. Adani is being protected by Indian government and at Mr. Modi's behest. Are we going to deny that? Just because they are winning Maharashtra, does the Adani factor cease to exist? Does the indictment against him go away because they are winning Maharashtra? Does Mr. Adani's alleged unfair practices cease to exist? I mean, let's get real here. Are you saying that Mr. Adani
while the case in the courts will be dealt with in the courts, the fact of the matter, Tom Vadakan, is that the Congress made it one of the key parts of their campaign that business was being moved out of Maharashtra to Gujarat. They tried to build this Maharashtra versus Gujarat narrative. When it's 215 versus 60 and the Shinde Sena roughly equal to the entire MVA put together, I think the voters of Maharashtra have let the country know where they stand on the Maharashtra versus Gujarat issue, and if they think of that as an issue at all.
Well, I think this whole thing has been clarified by our Deputy Chief Minister of when the industry moved out. He has given the logistics, and I think people of Maharashtra understand that logic, because it has nothing to do with the current government in Maharashtra. It is something that was a backlog of the Shiv Sena dispensation of that time. Let that matter rest. But however, let me tell you something. This crying foul about Adani and trying to say he is influenced, I mean, this is rotten, absolute nonsense. And I think it is an appropriate time to keep industrialists out of these political discussions, because essentially today it is Adani, tomorrow it will be Reliance, it will be Tata's. I mean, you can't go on with this. I mean, there are influencers, there are regime changers across the board. Soros is one. He has done it through his NGOs. He has been working. So let us keep our Indian industrialists safe and sound, because essentially they are our providers. They give employment to our people. They protect, I mean, they set up industry, and today we are one of the top reckoners industrially across the globe. So please, my request is keep them out. And if you want to win an election or lose an election, today I'm proud of the electorate who has voted for our government. And besides that, I also congratulate the Election Commission to have conducted an election. This is celebration of democracy. You may win, you may lose, but don't do this. Don't damage the providers of our economic
Given
growth.
how badly placed the NDA was in the Lok Sabha elections, where they were behind by a factor of almost 2, to come back from there and win in this fashion is one of the most remarkable political turnarounds conceivable. And that is just credit to Messrs. Modi and Shah and the manner in which they've planned this campaign out. The excitement, though, to some extent is in Jharkhand, which will give the Congress and the India Alliance some solace. The interesting thing in Jharkhand is that the JMM is at 31, the NDA together is at 29. That's a big victory in Jharkhand for the India Alliance. Congress is at 12, RJD at 6. In the NDA camp, the BJP at 26, the AJSU at 2, JDU at 1, and the Kurmi voters, because of the JLK and potentially Amitabh Tiwari going away, seems to have hurt the BJP a lot in Jharkhand. And frankly, This is embarrassing for Himanta Biswa Sarma because this was his big coming of age outside Assam, running a full campaign, and also for Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who worked really hard in Jharkhand, but at the end of the day, they don't have anything to show for it.
See, I think the Tiger Jairam Mahato helped the NDA bloc in 2024 Lok Sabha election because he split the opposition vote. But in the Vidhan Sabha, he's again splitting the opposition vote and thus helping JMM alliance because he has emerged as a leader of Kurmis. Ajsu, Sudesh Mahto has been the leader of the Kurmis for a long time now, for 15-20 years. And that's where the battle is. If you see Santhal Pargana, where this entire "Katenge to batenge or ek hai to safe hai" slogan is there, they are not doing particularly well. And the very surprising thing is, Tejasvi Yadav's party, RJD, is leading or winning in 6 out of the 7 or odd 8 seats it is contesting, which is near the border of
No, but look at
Jharkhand.
this. So much was said of Kolhan and the impact that Champai Soren could have in Kolhan. In Kolhan, you've got the JMM India Alliance at 8, NDA only at 3. So the JMM at 7, Congress at 1, and that is deeply problematic. NDA is at 3, which is an improvement of 3 from the last time. But frankly, this is quite embarrassing.
You know, the fact is this was an area swept by the JMM alliance last time itself. So they've still swept it. And I come back to it, Rahul, and I'm going to emphasize this because I'm getting people you saying, you know, look at Bhatenge to Katenge, it works so well in Maharashtra. It doesn't work everywhere. Are you telling me that the BJP, in fact, if anything, the BJP was even more overt with pushing the thing, Guspetiya, narrative in Jharkhand, it didn't work. India is, I meant, you know, this is the problem I have with facile explanations. India is the most diverse country in the world. What is true of Maharashtra is not true of Jharkhand. The only unity I see between two governments, both incumbent governments are being voted today, is your strong welfare schemes well directed to the woman. The woman, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it 100 times because that's the only way someone out there is going to understand what's happened. You're asking me why, for example, our guys who've never lost elections in Maharashtra 5 times, right, are trailing today. Because there's a 50% woman vote. And if that vote goes up by 6%, then I need the male vote to go for me by 10%.
No, but can I show you the strength scan of Maharashtra? This is very important because it will show you on seats which are typically considered strongholds of different parties. How are they faring there? So I'll start with the Congress's strength scan. Now look at this carefully. There are 18 seats in Maharashtra which are considered safe because the parties won those seats in every election over the last 3 elections. The Congress is winning only 1/3 of supposed safe seats. They are being bested in their own bastions in Maharashtra. Now there are 13 seats which the Congress considered relatively safe. Relatively safe because the Congress won them twice out of 3 elections in Maharashtra. The Congress is currently leading on only 2 of those. There are 13 seats considered weak because the Congress has won them once in the last 3 elections. The Congress currently leading only on 5 of those. And they're losing very clearly on most of the very weak seats. But the big problem there is that of the seats the Congress thought was safe, they're winning only in 1/3. From the Congress, let me now come to the BJP to draw the parallel. 24 safe BJP seats which the parties won in every election over the last 3 elections. They're winning on 20 of those seats. They're also winning on 51 of the 62 relatively safe seats. So if they've won them twice out of the last 3 elections, they're winning the vast majority of them. They're also winning, and this, Rajdeep, is where the genius of election management comes to the fore. 19 seats considered weak, where the party has won only once in the last 3 elections. They are winning all 19 seats. I have never seen this in all the years that we've had the election intelligence dashboard. No party ever weaks all the seats where they are weak. They have a better strike rate on the seats electorally constituting weak seats than they do even on their safe seats. Amitabh Tiwari, this is just...
It's a wave.
You know, as somebody who's a data geek and loves this...
It's a tsunami.
It's a wave. Nahi hai, ye management ka genius hai, genius. So 19 safe seats.
There I disagree.
What do you disagree about?
I disagree.
If you're winning 19 safe seats, that is electoral genius.
Rahul, when you have a wave, when you have a tsunami, forget wave, this is a tsunami. When you have a tsunami, ये सब management कुछ नहीं चाहिए. You have one.
Sir, wave बनाना पड़ता है. ऐसा कौन सा wave होता है बैठे बैठे?
That's not the management.
अरे ऐसा होता ही नहीं है. Sir, wave बनाने पे बनता है. ऐसे कैसे wave कोई पेड़ में थोड़ी अमरूद है कि उतार के लेके आ गए?
One minute. What is you know, one of the theories that was expressed at the start of the day and even in the lead up was micro-planning, OBC, ye, wo. I'm giving you an example. Look at Maratha vote. The so-called Maratha vote has also gone. Now that is nothing to do.
I fiercely, vehemently, as strongly as possible disagree with Rajdeep.
Rahul, I'm sorry.
Boss, you have to build up an election campaign.
That's okay. That's not management. The fact is, when you get a cross-class, cross-caste,
it didn't exist in Maharashtra. 2024, June the 4th is evidence of where Maharashtra stood. You had as clear as possible a vote from the voters of Maharashtra. From there to here, it would have taken immense electoral effort to make it happen. It didn't happen on its own.
Rahul, sometimes you have what you call a referenda election. You take a single point and people are able to bang it.
Campaigns are designed like
that.
So
it's a victory, not a management of campaign design. You vote, you designed the best possible. No, that's it. But you delivered it, you marketed it, and you convinced the women.
Campaigning.
You see,
I disagree with you.
No, I'll tell
this
you
cannot only be Ladki Behan. They have won everywhere where it is possible to win. It's a combination of all factors. I'm sorry. Anybody, okay, Shaina NC joins us. I want to go across. Just one for Shaina NC is the Mumba Devi candidate of the Eknath Shinde Sena. She's joining us. Okay, so Shaina NC, you know, from the data that we have, you're not winning on your seat just yet, but your party and your alliance has just killed it in Maharashtra this morning.
Thrilling.
Well, the latest report I have, Rahul, is that we are killing it there too. Having said that, in your terminology, I don't want to go into any kind of overconfidence. I truly believe that eventually we have to wait for the last vote to be out to determine who's victorious and who's not. But having said that, this is probably one of the toughest seats in Maharashtra today. And you know that there are 140,000 Muslims and 1 lakh Hindu voters. And despite that, you have schemes like Ladki Behna Yojana, where the chief minister has given 2.5 crore families and girls 7,500 directly in their banks as transfers. And we know that in the days to come, where you have Mumba Devi, 40,000 people, of which 15,000 were Muslim girls who benefited from this. So I think that there are lots of game changers when it comes to good governance models. And we've had the women empowered. We've had youngsters get the internship schemes, the pension schemes for the senior citizens, the kind of availability of people who have really got so many opportunities to grow, as has the infrastructure. If you look at the metro, the Trans-Harbour Link, Atal Setu, bullet trains, the sky is the limit when it comes to Maharashtra and its development. So Eknath Shinde ji, Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar have worked tirelessly to make sure that is a reality.
Who should be the chief minister? That's the question both Preeti and I have. You know Mr. Fadnavis well, and you're a candidate of Eknath Shinde. Who should be the chief minister, Shaina?
I knew you would ask this, Rajdeep and Preeti, but let me please say that this is going to be a historic mandate, which is a mandate we welcome, and it is for the Mahayuti leadership to decide who should be chief minister. Every party would want its own leader to be chief minister.
Shaina, for somebody,
but having said that,
who do you owe your allegiance to? On the party you come from or the symbol you're representing?
Preeti, very smart question, but I owe my allegiance to my leadership and the ideology that we all subscribe to, and the Mahayuti under the leadership of Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar, and of course, the honest popularity and hard work of the Prime Minister who has made this possible for all of us. And I want to tell you that probably Mumba Devi is the toughest constituency in Maharashtra. And if we make it here, it is history which will be created, because people have moved beyond vote bank and appeasement politics and false narratives and want true progress, which I think is the learning point and the learning curve from this election.
Okay, you're only trailing at the moment by 830 votes, so you still have very much of a chance in Mumba Devi, and you're right, it's a constituency in South Mumbai where if you win, it'll be a big win. Amin Patel has been a several times sitting MLA who you're contesting against, but I ask you one last time, who would you prefer do you agree that this is Fadnavis's day out and he should come back as CM, or should Eknath Shinde continue? Who would you prefer?
You know one thing, that this is a party and an ideology that believes in discipline. It is the Mahayuti leadership that will decide. And having said that, please let me tell you, whether it's the popularity on ground of Eknath Shinde or the learning of Devendra Fadnavis or the administration of Ajit Pawar, it is honestly the leadership that takes such calls. We are here to serve Mumbai, and unfortunately, Mumbai Devi is the worst backward constituency in Mumbai today, with no development for 15 years. So I hope to focus on that. And if people give a mandate and support us, then I'm sure that in the days to come, the sky is the limit to transform this great city of ours into a model constituency.
Okay, we'll wish you well. We'll see how that goes. It's quite a battle that you're having there at the moment.
Yeah.
But we are seeing at the moment, for example, former Chief Minister Preeti and all of us, Prithviraj Chavan is trailing in Kannauj South. So you've got heavyweights of the Congress trailing. The only few who are surviving this sort of tsunami which is taking place in Maharashtra are the likes of Jayant Patil of the NCP. He seems to be winning at the moment. Chhagan Bhujbal is on the other side, one of the few heavyweights of the Mahayuti who's losing at the moment. But by and large, across Maharashtra, we are seeing a phenomenon, a kind of tsunami of unprecedented proportions. And it will be interesting to see now whether the BJP can edge towards the halfway mark on its own.
Rajdeep,
you see, because if the BJP was last when you showed us was 123. If the BJP comes close to a halfway mark, that's game, set, match, everything.
They're 20 short of a halfway mark.
That's right.
That's not mathematically
You know,
possible
Shaina
because they contested only
NC was with us. She's been itching and waiting for an opportunity to contest. कहीं से भी chance मिल जाए. Like a Ranji batsman saying, मुझे एक मौका दो.
And very tough seat round.
And you know, she was in the chawls, in her sari, climbing all the way up. She really gave it her all. I don't know how this election will end, but especially for our viewers who see her oftentimes on television, she fought a tough battle and she fought it really hard. It was almost like this Ranji player saying, ek mauka mujhe do, see what I got. Here it is.
Rahul, there are many mysteries of this election, very big, important election. But one of them is that how come no print media or anybody used the word tsunami for BJP, neither even the strong wave for BJP. We missed it.
That's a fair point, no doubt. But that's also what makes elections exciting. If everybody already can just go on a motorcycle or on a chopper or in a car and coming up with answers on what happened, then there's no fun.
3/4 majority.
Yeah, it's 218 is 3/4. It's more than 3/4. So it's a phenomenal victory, and I think that's what, you know, frankly, you can't blame anyone. This is what makes elections and politics so exciting. I have a story to tell you. During the, I won't name the election, but during one election where a particular party was trailing, the topmost leader from that party called while counting was going on at around 10 o'clock, which means counting was on for 2 hours, and said, we will lose, but we will lose just by a bit. The opponent will be in front, but we will lose. 2 hours later, that party had won a landslide. And this is somebody who I think is very smart when it comes to political management. And even though he was winning, he didn't know he was winning. He thought it'll be a tight mandate. And that just shows, Rajat, how no matter what they say and the swagger and the strut that they exude, andar hi andar sabko dar lagta hai. You don't know what's happening. Ultimately, that's the reality.
You know, there are a lot of like America.
You know, no, America was much tighter. This is a sweep. This is a sweep of historical proportions.
Conservative nationalist class that BJP is
Can I just show so that this is in context for our viewers? I just want to show you where the historical data stands in Maharashtra. So if you look at where things stand and compare with the past, the NDA has a 51% vote share at this moment. The India Alliance is a 35%. In the Lok Sabha elections, it was 43.9 versus 43.3, a 0.6% gap. That's now a 16% gap. You know, Rajdeep, for Rahul Gandhi and the kind of politics that he ran, you know, very strongly pitched against one corporate group, trying to make this an anti-Adani election. So this kind of a verdict where you've got India at 55, Congress at only 21, not even the number one party, and the Sena is at the exact same number at this time as the India Alliance. Yes. It's a very strong rejection of Rahul Gandhi's brand of politics.
Look, I think, you know, again, I repeat, one size doesn't fit all. I think Rahul Gandhi's brand of politics is also to be measured against the complete lack of organization of the Congress party. You see, why put the door only on... What about the likes of K.C. Venugopal? Remember what happened in Haryana? You see, more than this Maharashtra victory on the back of Haryana. Haryana was an election you are expected to win.
And you had all the issues working for you.
In all these states, the fact is it's not just an individual. It's your machine, right? You build a machine. It's not just Amit Shah, one individual. It's the manner in which your RSS... Remember, RSS did 60,000 meetings in Maharashtra. 60,000. Often of 100 and 200 people going on the ground. Do you have anything similar to match it? The BJP RSS machine is just far too formidable. So Rahul Gandhi has to recognize that if the Congress expects to win, they win by default. They won Telangana because BRS screwed up. Had Chandrasekhar Rao dropped 30 sitting MLAs, he may well have won Telangana as well. You won Karnataka because Siddaramaiah and Shiv Kumar worked for it 2 years before and got their act together as a group. And the Bommai government screwed up. So the Congress cannot expect to win on default. It cannot expect to win.
No, but they have to pick the right issues.
Soya
bean prices, cotton prices. अरे पता होना चाहिए ना कि जनता को क्या चाहिए. आप constitution लेके घूम रहे हो. In an assembly election, people don't care about that at that time.
We have been talking about it even during the exit poll discussion time, that anybody who was there did not see any preparation, any run-up to the campaign. That fire was not there. You were picking issues which, sitting in Delhi, you could guess that this is possibly an Adani issue. Possibly the Dharavi is going to come up, stand against and sway the whole state of Maharashtra. How on earth is it possible?
If Supriya Shunit is still with us, Supriya today, okay, she's not with us, but Rajdeep, today you can, the Congress can take solace in the fact that you've got Jharkhand. But having said that, how many, but Kalpana Soren, over 50 rallies she did. How many did Rahul Gandhi do in Maharashtra?
8.
Exactly.
8,
and
out
the
of which
answer
2
lies
was
in
closed
that.
door Samvidhan Sabha.
Exactly. And the answer
You're
lies
in an
in
election.
that. Exactly.
I'm not at the India International Center where I'm going to discuss constitution.
Can I show you how Maharashtra has changed? I think this is very important for viewers to see. There was a big Dalit consolidation in favor of the Congress on the issue of Arakshan in the Lok Sabha election. See what's happened now. Out of the 18 seats which we classify as being Dalit majority, where the Dalits can decide who wins. So predominantly Dalit, where the Dalits are influential, the BJP alliance is winning on 14 of those seats. Even on Dalit reserved seats, even on Dalit seats, the NDA is being bested. It's 14 versus 3. From Dalit, if I come to the OBC seats, the OBC seats of Maharashtra, 160 such seats, the NDA currently leading on 119 of those seats versus the India Alliance leading only on 33. From there, if I come to the tribal seats of Maharashtra, on the tribal seats as well, and this is important, this is data we are showing for the first time, the NDA leading on 28, 15 for the BJP, 5 for the Sena, 8 for Ajit Pawar. The India Alliance leading only on 7, 5 for the Congress, 1 for the Sharad Pawar faction, 1 for the UBT. From there, if I come to the Muslim seats,
Marathwada seats,
out of the 30
seats.
Muslim-dominated seats, which is why I said this is a phenomena of election management. Of the 30 Muslim-dominated seats, NDA leading on 16, the India Alliance on 11. Rajdeep, on Dalit seats, on tribal seats, on Muslim seats, the BJP has really run circles around the India Alliance.
Look, when a woman votes,
अरे बार-बार woman बोल रहे हैं, woman का नहीं है, सबका वोट है.
No, 1 minute.
So you can't have a 16% vote share lead with only women.
Sir, the Muslim-dominated seats in Maharashtra, barring Malegaon, do not have a Muslim majority population.
No, but it's the same Muslim voters who helped them win in the Lok Sabha elections. I don't agree. This is your home state. I don't agree with your...
I will give you an example.
No, what example will you give me? This is not just the women voting for the BJP.
Rahul, you have to understand. For example, Dhule seat. I said this even pre-election. Dhule seat has 6 assembly segments. The seat in Lok Sabha was won by the Congress, but in 5 of the assembly segments, the lead was with the BJP. In the 6th segment, the Congress had a huge lead in Malegaon, which is Muslim-dominated. When you say Muslim seat, it doesn't mean Muslim-dominated. My limited point is, we are seeing a tsunami election that is cutting across class, caste, region, right? That doesn't mean it's management. That means you have struck an issue which has struck a chord across the state. Now, why not accept that? Look at Eknath Shinde. Eknath Shinde is winning virtually 3 in every 4 seats he's contested, which is phenomenal. Ajit Pawar, who most people wrote off, is winning also virtually 3 in every 4 seats he contested. Now, does that mean management? No. It means it's a tsunami. People have chosen between 2 parties and decided हमें ये लाडकी बहन and the stability which is offered by Eknath Shinde is eminently preferable to a Mahavikas Agadi which till the last moment was fighting कौन बनेगा मुख्यमंत्री, कौन सी सीट मिलेगी and offering nothing to the voter. Why not accept this as the mismanagement and the complete debacle and decimation of the Mahavikas Agadi plus the very intelligent campaign run by the BJP alliance, backed by the election machine on the ground. It's a combination of various factors. That's all I'm saying.
But everything under the umbrella of the Ladki Bahan Yojana.
That's right. You need one thing. You need one
You had
talking
that under
point.
the umbrella and you ran a multi-campaign underneath that.
I agree
Even
with you.
with the cutenge, butting, all
Amita
fell through
Tiwari,
under it.
Rajdeep's argument is, and I want to demolish it through data, that this is a woman-led vote. Women would have had, and the post-poll studies will prove that, a role to play. But when you're 222 versus 54, this is in some ways like Trent Bridge 1983, Kapil Dev 17-5 coming in, or the last match in Australia, I think it was at Adelaide where we were 36 all out. This is that kind of a recovery.
No, I'll give you one example of a similar vote that you remember Bengal just 3 years ago. Why did Mamata Banerjee win? She won Madhya Pradesh. Mamata Banerjee had a 6% lead among women. The moment you have a 5% plus lead among women, it's a decimation. Shivraj Singh Chauhan had a 6% lead among women. Yes, the other factors also come in. Stability. I'm not saying men don't vote for one's party, but your traditional core voter comes. Elections are won by incremental voters switching from one side to the other. You had a roughly, we'll see the final swing. My sense is you'll have a 6% swing.
I can show that.
Also, one aggregating factor has been Hindu consolidation, whether you like it or not, but there is this current...
To some extent, of course.
Which
under the umbrella of the Ladki
That's a subtext. Why would Marathas otherwise vote in such big numbers?
So
That's, I want to see how the Marathas... You're right.
To have unifying agendas instead of divisive agendas, which Congress gave up right at the outset of the election. They had no play on the caste issues. They had no play
Not just Marathas, Rajdeep, even Dalits, where you saw an identity of a Hindu, then you saw an identity of being Dalit, which aided under the Ladki Bahin
But
Yojana.
ma'am, look at it, Jharkhand, tribal dominated state,
That's
with
what
a
my
large Dalit
argument was.
population, they voted the other way.
I agree. So
See,
it
the
comes under
common
the
theme
umbrella of
is
the Ladki Bahin Yojana.
Is the common theme.
Exactly.
But if you see the swing is 16%. So the swing is of 8%. 8% vote share, NDA or Mahayuti's vote share is increasing compared to Lok Sabha, whereas 8% vote share of the MVA is declining. And that all this 16% swing cannot come just from women. So it has to come from OBC. There is a severe OBC polarization
consolidation, I agree.
How does that happen, Rajdeep?
also
it happens
happening.
because of these building blocks that you
Sure.
come up with a unifying
And there is
campaign
also this
around a
weakening,
common thread.
But then
weakening
how
of the
does
Maratha
Marathas
agitation.
also vote there?
Let's see
Marathas vote
Marathwada.
on, right?
Let's see
If there was an
Marathwada.
OBC versus Maratha consolidation, both are gone.
Marathas have women also.
See
That's
Marathwada.
exactly
Marathas are
my
all
point. Rajdeep, my
Marathwada.
point
This
with
is all the
Rajat.
more reason for a
It
Hindu
is the Ladki Bahin
consolidation.
Yojana. The main objective is that.
OBC consolidation, I think, is a very important point. The BJP consciously targeted that. They knew that the Maratha vote may get fractured at best. They did that in Haryana as well. Fracture the dominant caste, but consolidate your OBC vote. So everything that could go right they've done it.
But
They've run one of the most amazing
But
campaigns.
this is not fracturing
which
the
started
Maratha vote, it's
you see, the
consolidating
difference
it as
is,
well.
Bhupendra Yadav went to Mumbai, correct me if I'm wrong, end of June, and has spent more time there than here. Ramesh Chenitala, dividing his time between Kerala and Maharashtra, is not from Maharashtra in any case. Most of the other Maharashtra leaders between July and August, Mala Mukhyamantri Vaitsa, because they were convinced that they will get 180.
No, they can do a Dream 11.
Yeah,
They can do a Dream 11.
So just look at the distance. So it's a disastrous campaign run by one side and a first-class campaign run by the other. And then you have Ladki Bahin as your narrative. It's a winning.
Yes, Sheila.
I would like to agree with you that there is no one reason.
Right.
I think since 2002 onwards and more so since 2014, in India there are two big blocks. One is secular liberal minorities and such one group, and one group is nationalist conservative group. Nationalist conservatives solidly supports Modi. This group has got a Modi as an efficient leader for them, who is able to deliver to
But
them.
they weren't
But-
that
do it in
enthusiastic
no,
in the
but
Lok
just
Sabha
a minute,
elections.
I'm not coming to the different point. I feel today, just take a pause and think about secular liberal people, how they feel, must be feeling a great betrayal by Congress. Is it a joke? Are you kidding? When Modi and other machinery is fighting so seriously, and this is not fight of a freebie and Revdi, no. This is a fight of an idea, after all, at the end of the day. And I think really Congress is taking them for granted and not working hard enough. This is the message.
But the
of
Congress never works hard enough.
No, you can't say that.
Where
because
do they hardly
No,
work?
but
If you look at the effort, in Telangana and Karnataka, but I'm saying look at Maharashtra.
Because of this,
where did they work hard?
Because of this, Maratha reservation issue and Adani issue will now fade away. Because
No, but you make an important point. When you make that the fulcrum of your campaign,
See,
you know,
they are
Adani
talking
this,
of
Adani
culture, you are
that,
talking
and
of
this is the kind of
Adani.
verdict that comes
They are
out at the end of it.
culture, they are talking of religion, politics, society, marriages, and he is talking of Adani.
Lazy campaign.
It's a
No,
very
but let me tell you, it's
broad-
it's not going to fade away.
No, it's
You
not
see,
about
Rahul
fading.
Gandhi is determined. Rahul Gandhi believes that this is a long fight. You know, that's in his mind, that this is a fight.
No, like Rafale was
I'm
a
ready
long
to
fight.
fight this. This is an ideological war. The problem is, how do you fight an ideological war with a party which is not ideological? You see, congressmen after this defeat will happily, even though some of those who win, will
a
happily switch
betrayal.
over to the other side.
And you have to keep your troops motivated
see-
if it's a long
No,
war.
it would
How
also
do you
lead
do
to
that?
the
If you lose
decimation
election
of
after
the
election?
Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena. Look
Yeah,
at
it's
the
been
current
total
tally.
desertion, everybody will leave.
If you look
opposition
at
less state.
the UBT,
NCP also.
the UBT has 17 MLAs. You know, getting 12 on the other side, how tough is that going to be for Eknath Shinde? With this kind of a verdict, do they come, and then where does that leave Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray? That's a question he'll need to ponder over. Similarly, with Sharad Pawar, there are only 12 MLAs, getting 8 of them on that side, or 7. How tough is that? And where does that leave them? So Charanjit Singh Sapra joins us from the Congress. We've got Tuhin Sinha from the BJP. Tuhin, one of the most remarkable, historic turnarounds conceivable between June and November. This is like Kapil Dev coming in at 17 for 5, or what happened at Adelaide the last time. You know, when you thought all was lost and gone, to be able to snatch a famous victory from the jaws of defeat.
Well, absolutely, Rahul. This is historic. This is unprecedented. But like I have been sticking my neck out in the last 2 weeks, in the last 3 weeks, anybody who has
चाहेंगे तो
traveled
आपको भी नहीं
on the
पता था, वैसे
ground
मत
would not
बोलो।
be surprised with this victory. But yes, नहीं, मैंने आपको कहा था, मैं परसों से कह रहा हूँ 160 मिनिमम, 180 से ऊपर संभव था, लेकिन हाँ 220 की कल्पना हमने नहीं की थी। और यही होता है, जब भगवान देता है तो छप्पड़ फाड़ के देता है। देखिए, आज पिछले 3 सालों से इन लोगों ने केवल एक बात कहा कि हम लोग गद्दार हैं। आज इसका फैसला हमेशा हमेशा के लिए हो गया। आज कांग्रेस की जो तुष्टीकरण की नीति थी, जिस प्रकार से पिछले 2 हफ्तों में केवल उन्होंने मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन की बात की, केवल उन्होंने उलेमा का साथ लिया, आज उसका फैसला हो गया। जो बिटकॉइन स्कैम कर रहे थे, काला धन एकत्र करने के लिए, आज उनका किस्सा हमेशा के लिए खत्म हो गया। देखिए, why this victory is very important for us. Maharashtra is a very crucial growth enabler. It is a very crucial engine in the Viksit Bharat journey, in the Viksit Bharat story of us. And the $1 trillion economy goal which we have set, that will only get precipitated from here. And Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh are going to be very big enablers in the larger journey of the nation.
Charanjit Sapra, the irony is the entire India alliance put together stands at the same level as just the Eknath Shinde Sena. I mean, I think that's the irony of the verdict in Maharashtra. You know, you are clamoring about who will be your chief minister, which party will he come from. You know, you can now spend the next 5 years playing political Dream 11 because it's the Yuti that's come to power and has, you know, given you a political thrashing.
Yes, Rahul, it is, very difficult to understand the figures which are coming out. And if these figures turn out to be the actual results, then really the entire Mahavikas Aghadi needs a serious introspection. I feel as of now, I can say that the freebies thing have worked with the NDA or the Mahayuti. The kind of Ladki Behan Yojana, it has worked in Maharashtra also, and it worked in Jharkhand in favor of India Gathbandhan also. So the freebies are working. This is one conclusion. Secondly, polarization factor. The BJP tried to, do a desperate polarization, which they have probably succeeded. And the results are coming accordingly. The war slogan like "Batenge to katenge" or maybe "Ek hai to safe hai." These slogans have somehow
No, but do you
created a
accept, Charanjit
polarization.
Sapra, that this is also a rejection of your Maharashtra versus Gujarat? You know, Adani, the whole focus was this anti-cop, in an industrialized state like Maharashtra, the issues that your leaders took up, have frankly been rejected by the voters of Maharashtra. That's how Eknath Shinde is a breakaway faction of the Shiv Sena. They alone are equal to your entire strength.
See, Rahul, I told you and I'll repeat again that when polarization plays, the other factors, they mellow down. That is one thing. Secondly, money has also worked. Note for vote has also worked for Shinde Sena or for the Mahayuti. You see, when 150 crores have been caught by the Election Commission or by the police, the maximum money which is confiscated is from the leaders of Mahayuti, whether it was Shadol, whether it was Pune, whether it was in Marathwada or whether it was in Kolhapur. I can give you names also. So, and we have seen the Vinod Tawde issue also. This issue was not brought up by Congress party. This issue was brought in front by the PVA, Hitendra Thakur and his team. So the note for vote and the note jihad has also worked in Maharashtra. This is the thing which we can, go towards conclusion. But let us wait. Let us see till 1 o'clock what happens, and then maybe post-poll introspection is required.
Okay, Aishwarya Paliwal joins us from the BJP headquarters. They had some garma-garam jalebis which were in the pan in the morning. I want to see what's happening there right now. Aishwarya, I'm told that the Prime Minister will be coming to the BJP headquarters. This is the best way for the Bharatiya Janata Party to end this election year. Winning in Haryana, winning in Maharashtra. They haven't won in Jharkhand, but the fact is that Maharashtra was the big political prize and they won in style there.
Well, Rahul, this is what we are also being told, that in this building, and let me tell you, the preparations will begin in the next 2 to 3 years, because when they will have the exact number, that's when the extent of the celebrations will actually begin. But the Prime Minister, let me tell you, between 6:30 to 7 p.m., that's what we are told, he'll be coming to the BJP headquarters. There'll be karyakartas, and that's the time when the real celebration will begin. The BJP will also, from here, from what we're expecting, the Prime Minister will speak with all the supporters and tell them that they're on the right path and moving forward, marching forward for the development of the country. That will be the crux of what the Prime Minister will be speaking today. Rahul.
It's interesting. The Prime Minister has perfected this art. And I think that's, again, galvanizing your troops, mobilize. I think that's Mr. Modi's biggest strength, that he's able to rouse his troops even from adversity, from all the criticism that he faced after the... And I think that is his strength. When you've been in politics for 50 years, you're able to handle adversity and success and be able to build on it. You don't get carried away. The problem with the Congress is that they saw those 99 seats and thought that they'd won 270. And that is a huge mistake that you make in politics, because a lot of those seats also, let's not forget, came on the back of the regional party supporting you. Akhilesh Yadav played a huge role in what happened in Uttar Pradesh. So I think the Congress party remains, I think the story of our times, Rahul, over the last 10 years has been the almost secular decline of the Congress. There have been aberrations from time to time, but they've been aberrations. They don't signal a revival of the Congress yet.
But also, Rajdeep, zero course correction. What happened in Haryana? How did you course correct? Till date, Haryana doesn't have a leader of opposition in assembly.
But
because you haven't been able to appoint one.
They divided the entire state of Maharashtra into 10 different parts and had one Congress leader come in and become in charge. Honestly, none of them actually ended up going there. They were all sitting in Narman Point in the 5-star hotels. Nobody got onto the ground to micromanage the elections they were sent for.
One of the big grudge battles in this election was Eknath Shinde versus Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray. We have 40 seats where Shinde Sena or UBT is 1 and 2. Out of those, on 31 seats, you've got the Eknath Shinde Sena winning. The UBT is winning only on 9 of those 40 seats. I want to introduce Priyanka Chaturvedi, Member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha of the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena, Deputy Leader of the Shiv Sena UBT. Ma'am, Welcome. Not a pleasant morning this. The Shinde Sena by itself at the same number of seats as the entire India alliance put together. What do you think went so dramatically wrong in this election, ma'am?
To be very honest, I don't really know. And I won't be able to give you answers because I wasn't mentally prepared to come on television channels accepting this kind of a defeat. And again, I'm just hoping something would turn around simply because we saw that it was a very close fight. What we saw on ground was a lot of anger against the government. What we saw was tremendous amount of support coming from the people. All the surveys across the state showed that Uddhavji was amongst the most popular, and the votes don't seem to be matching up to the sentiment that we were seeing on the ground. So right now, I don't have an answer to this particular question as to what really did not work for us. But again, it does raise questions on, when we are gauging the mood of the people, when we are seeing different surveys and outcomes coming out to be totally different. What really went wrong is something for everyone to speculate.
Is this for introspection, or unlike your own party person, Sanjay Raut, actually blame the mandate and say that this is a rigged mandate because that's a spoiled sport and that's discrediting the people's vote?
No, I would continue to say this, that when we were on ground, many people came and expressed a similar sentiment, that while our vote may be going towards y'all, please ensure that the EVMs are playing fair. That is a doubt which has been consistently raised by lots of voters across Maharashtra, and it's not like it's coming out of the blue. This is something which has been raised consistently during.
But Priyanka, it wasn't raised in Maharashtra in Lok Sabha 2024. Come assembly elections, you have a mandate like this, and you blame the EVMs there.
Allow me to,
please. Yeah.
Preeti ji, you haven't allowed me to complete. I do know it's a tough day for me right now. And I do know you'll have 101 questions to ask of me and to cut me out because you'll have multiple more questions, but allow me to speak. It's not like I'm saying something out of the blue. This is all I'm trying to say is what Sanjay Rautji is expressing is a doubt expressed many times. Whether we accept it in the Lok Sabha, whether we are not accepting it in the Vidhan Sabha is a second thing. The question here is, when the ground sentiment showed that it was such a close fight, when every single seat was a close fight to finish, for us to have such a difference in numbers is something which is not fathomable. That is the question that comes in everyone's mind. That we have been amongst the people, we have seen the sentiment, and we've seen the Lok Sabha outcome versus the Vidhan Sabha outcome. To us to see this kind of a pattern and difference is something which, again, I don't have answers to. And I'm not blaming anything here, but these are questions that will arise in every voter's mind as well as in every political party's mind.
Is the question of who is the real Shiv Sena settled today? Has this election settled that in your view? Or do you believe that you want to wait till the Mumbai municipal elections? Has that question been settled?
No, I'm not going to get it. No, I don't think winning and losing decides what is the sentiment amongst the people. Of course, they've got more numbers. But do they believe the legacy is with them? Is something which is up for a debate. Simply because the Election Commission handed over the party symbol name, which we are still fighting in the Supreme Court. Unfortunate that the Supreme Court still couldn't take a call as to whether what Election Commission did was the right thing to do or not to do. And that's a fight we will keep fighting. The second thing being, Lok Sabha, we did better than them. Every election cannot be about who's the real Shiv Sena. Every election is about how we will be able to convert that sentiment into votes. Probably this time it did not work for us. The next time it will work for us.
Isn't that a question? Ma'am, isn't that a question? Because just a minute, ma'am. Y'all went into this election, calling Eknath Shinde a Gaddar. It worked in the Lok Sabha to some extent, Khoke ki Sarkar. You tried it again. The formula didn't work in the Vidhan Sabha. Is there a recognition of that? That he's no, you can't just call him a Gaddar time and again and win.
Let me repeat to you, we may not win, but he will continue to be a traitor. That's written on his forehead forever. So please, he will continue to be that. Someone who wins on the back of an AB form given by Uddhav Sahib Thackeray, someone who becomes a minister in an alliance which he later said was not the alliance he wanted to be a part of, held 3 important ministries, and after 2 years his conscience arises and he says, okay, now I'm moving on. You cannot take that reality away. And again, that's a fight we are fighting in the Supreme Court. And we were hoping that the constitutional judgment, the constitutional bench would uphold democracy and constitution. It's not happened, but we'll keep fighting the fight. Does that mean at every point we prove whether who's the real Shiv Sena, who's not the real Shiv Sena? Lok Sabha, then you can say, oh, it's now settled. But then you all started to talk about the strike rate. Now you're talking about, oh, look, he's won emphatically. That does not mean that people don't believe the legacies with Uddhav ji. And I'm not going to get into that debate.
You know, the fact at the end of the day is that there will need to be some look by these parties, which I think, I mean, she may not agree with me. You all squabbled over Kaun Banega Mukhyamantri through July and August. You all were more interested, project Uddhav Thackeray CM, everything will be well, rather than doing the hard work on the ground.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
the fact is, at that time, the BJP was on the ground, the RSS was on the ground, and you all were sitting in your bungalows in Delhi and Mumbai deciding Kaun Banega
Let's not be unfair. She's saying it's a tough day and a tough morning to reconcile to this. Not a
No, but that's the truth.
I'm
not holding it against her. I'm not holding it against her. I think there's a recognition.
I'm willing to answer your question.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Rahul, I'm willing to answer your questions, even if they are the toughest ones. So Rajdeep, let me tell you one thing. What we were doing, what went wrong, we will give you a detailed analysis, firstly. This second thing about squabbling over Chief Minister phase, wasn't it your survey and CSDS survey and various other surveys which showed that Uddhav Thackeray ji was amongst the most popular leaders above even Mr. Eknath Shinde? It's a fact. For our political party to say that there should be a phase which leads this campaign, I don't think it was unfair ask, but of course.
No, are you saying that would have made a difference?
The other two allies.
Are you telling me you think that would have made a difference?
You all were sitting in your bungalows and having discussion. I think it's a very unfair charge to make to lakhs of our karyakartas who are working on ground. Lakhs of karyakartas who are working on ground.
Are you concerned, ma'am?
Having to fight a battle between, it was a David versus Goliath fight with tons of money being pumped in on one side and we struggling to ensure that our karyakartas could be on the ground and fighting this fight. They have fought this fight. So please do not undermine my party karyakartas, my
the
party
UBT
workers.
has 19
Just because you
MLAs.
think we are sitting in bungalows and deciding who's winning and who becomes the CM.
Priyanka ji, at this moment, the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena has 19 MLAs who are in the lead. Are you concerned that given the scale of this victory, that more than 12 could switch over and you've already lost the vast majority of your MLAs, you may end up losing some of these as well?
No, why would they want to go anywhere now? They have fought on our AB form, Bharatiya Janata Party, and they seem to have a comfortable majority. But if they, I mean, I cannot predict what is going to happen in the future. But I can only believe that we will, all of us together, will learn to fight another day. We'll have enough strength to fight another day. And it's winning and losing is part of it all.
Sure, you're being very strong in this verdict, saying that you're willing to take on the tough questions. I want to show our viewers now what's happening in the VIP seats of Maharashtra. And the problem there for the Eknath Shinde, for the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena, is that even someone like Aditya Thackeray, who's the only member of the Thackeray family to have fought an election himself, is actually leading just by 500 odd votes at this time. And the reason that he's winning is because the MNS actually put up a candidate there who's pulled away a substantial amount of the votes. You take the MNS votes away, and then there is a possibility that Milind Deora may have actually been ahead. At this moment, Aditya leads, but it's not by a comfortable majority.
And
remember?
Don't forget, even in the Lok Sabha, this was a seat that they only won by 6,500. So it was open.
In the last assembly, it was a 60,000 lead.
Right. So I think
it shows the fall in popularity.
Look, I think this is very good example, Rahul, because remember, Worli has a large Marathi population, Marathi-speaking population as well. So you see, this whole thing of the Marathi Manus standing by you has not really happened. If the Marathi Manus was standing by you, you should be winning these seats with a very big, comfortable margin. And I think...
But that's the ultimate scare, right?
Aditya Thackeray, to his credit, took up the challenge of becoming an MLA, took up the challenge of becoming a minister. But I think somewhere there's been a mismatch between the Shiv Sena's communication of why did it abandon Hindutva as it was seen, and the mood on the ground. There is confusion in the ranks. You need to resolve that. You can't say, the reason why I left is because Amit Shah betrayed us on a 2.5 year commitment. The worker is now saying, look, the worker is a Hindutva-Vadi Maharashtrian. That is your core voter. That core voter, it appears, and it happened in Lok Sabha also, Rahul. In Lok Sabha, you will see the Shiv Sena did well in constituencies with large Dalit Muslim population.
I've just been sent data because remember, this takes a few minutes to update. In Worli, Milind Deora is now up by 597 votes.
Yes, he's trailing.
And Aditya Thackeray is trailing. He's got 17,607. Milind is at 18,000. You know, I asked him when we met at the Mahalakshmi racecourse, will you be Balika Bakra or the Giant Slayer? At this moment, with the slenderest of margins, he's leading. Let's look at some of the other seats. In that Pawar versus Pawar battle in Baramati against Yogendar Pawar, his nephew, you got a very comfortable lead for Ajit Pawar. So he's smiling and he's got reason to smile. Amit Deshmukh in Latur city, son of former Chief Minister Vilasrao Deshmukh, is trailing behind Shivraj Patil's daughter-in-law Archana Charukar, because she's got a 1500 lead, which is a pretty comfortable lead in Latur city. Amit Thackeray, Raj Thackeray's son in Mahim, is currently trailing. Chhagan Bhujbal of the NCP in Yevla is currently leading. Devendra Fadnavis, most likely to be Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Remember, if the BJP has 120 plus, it's very difficult for someone else to become Chief Minister. He's the man who is now odds-on favorite to be the next Chief Minister, leading with a big majority, with a big margin in Nagpur Southwest, Devendra Fadnavis. Eknath Shinde in his seat, leading quite comfortably. I want to look at Fahad Ahmed. Fahad Ahmed of the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP, husband of Swara Bhaskar, is currently leading in Anushakti Nagar in Maharashtra. So if I look at Nana Patole in Sakoli, he's leading. Nitesh Rane is leading. Nilesh Rane is leading. The sons of Narayan Rane. Milind Deora is now in that's a very tough, exciting election there. Milind Deora leading against Aditya Thackeray by just 500.
No, but it's huge, right? In the context, I mean, if Aditya Thackeray loses in a constituency with a substantial Marathi-speaking vote, there is, of course, it's cosmopolitan. Let me be fair. Worli has other large communities which are non-Maharashtrian as well. But it would be huge if, if the former Chief Minister's son, the scion of the Thackeray family, loses to Milind Deora. This would be Milind Deora's biggest victory. You know, and look at how life changes. He lost 2 consecutive elections from South Mumbai as a Congress candidate. Switches over to the BJP, Eknath Shinde faction, gets Rajya Sabha, and now could be one of the giant slayers. We don't know where it will go.
He wasn't very enthusiastic about fighting.
He wasn't.
Originally.
They had a friendship. Yeah, but look.
And if this is the way it turns out, it will be a big victory. We don't know yet.
You know, when I look at those 54, these 54 who are winning actually deserve a huge credit, because they're winning in the face of this tsunami. And they include some a few heavyweights, but by and large, most of the candidates of the NCP, Shiv Sena, UBT and Congress, who even are powerful. Prithviraj Chavan there, for example, former Chief Minister, is trailing. Now when a former Chief Minister trails...
But that's a tsunami, no, Rajdeep? Once it starts kicking in, then it washes everything in its way.
Yes, but when it's a tsunami of this kind, it also shows just how weak the MBA was. I don't think... I thought the Mahayuti would win. But if you would ask me 220, no way. I would have said 170 was my number. 220 is way above. But good luck to them. I think what they've done is run a very, very effective campaign. But Aditya Thackeray versus Milind Deora, Rahul, will, I think, become a major election victory for Milind, because it will revive his political career also.
It will be the hallmark of the Shinde versus Uddhav Thackeray faction battle, Rajdeep. It will go down in the annals of...
If you can tell me in Amit Thackeray's constituency, I think Amit Thackeray is trailing.
Trailing Latur city.
I think there you've got, ironically, the Uddhav Thackeray group winning. Again, remember, there's a third candidate there. It's Eknath Shinde, MNS and
but Raj Thackeray would have wanted that the NDA not put up a candidate against him.
That's right.
And Eknath Shinde said, this is a sitting seat, how can we just give it up?
Yeah, Sada Sarvankar is a several times MLA, he didn't want to give it up. I think Raj Thackeray, again, has, is really not a factor in Maharashtra politics. He's only leading in one seat. He had lots of posters, seemingly a lot of resources.
We have the first images of Devendra Fadnavis.
I just spoke to him on the phone.
Mumbai, what's he saying?
He's coming this evening on the show. He's very excited, very happy. I said, Mukhyamantri...
Did he say, will he be CM?
I said, Mukhyamantri Onar. He's, on the phone, he just said...
There he is. The big boss. He is most likely going to be Chief Minister of Maharashtra. I mean, it will be very difficult with this kind of a verdict.
No way.
For
It's done.
Eknath Shinde to be Chief Minister again.
You're watching the next Chief Minister of Maharashtra on screen, and he will therefore now become a 3-time Chief Minister, Rahul. 1 term of 5 years, 1 term of 3 days or 4 days, or was it a week? But the shortest surviving Chief Minister of Maharashtra, only the second in 40 years to complete 5 years. And this time, with this kind of majority, you would expect him to comfortably complete another 5 years. And thereby he becomes a leader for the future.
That's what. He's got a long runway in front of him. Chief Minister again, most likely. He's looking confident. He has that Don-like feel to him right now. You know, he's there talking on the phone. He knows he's being recorded. He loves it. And what a day it is, because there's so much said about it. He takes himself very seriously.
So he's a serious politician. Youngest ever mayor of Nagpur. Comes from a family. His father was also an MLA. Nitin Gadkari claims he brought him into politics. I recall Devendra Fadnavis, Rahul, very interestingly, between 2009 and 14, made his reputation by targeting Ajit Pawar on the irrigation scam. He made his reputation as taking on as an anti-corruption crusader. Then became the leader of the BJP party president. Came in from the outside. He was junior, let's say, to a Gopinath Munde and others. Gopinath Munde tragically passed away in that accident. I believe Gopinath Munde would have been Chief Minister of Maharashtra in 2014. Sometimes, you know, that's the way life takes you. Suddenly, from just being another face in the BJP, you become Chief Minister. Then very effective. You see, he's a CEO-style Chief Minister. And I believe, I mean, this may be wrong, that Maharashtra needs that. When you're the country's financial powerhouse, you need a Chief Minister who says 10 a.m. means 10 a.m. Devendra Fadnavis has...
With Eknath Shinde, it could mean anything. 10 could mean 12, it could mean 7.
Let me give Mr. Shinde one credit. The Chief Minister converted CM to common man. And it broke the accessibility. You see, today if I wanted to meet the Thakres, very difficult for an average citizen. Eknath Shinde's doors were open. Now for the Shiv Sainik, that's what you want, right? Suddenly you have access to the so-called... So I think from a variety, Devendra Fadnavis, I think suits the kind of politician BJP wants. Strong RSS background, comes from Nagpur. What better way that, you know, to have your... In the next year, the 100th year of the RSS. You'll have a
Nagpur Brahman.
You'll have a Nagpur Deshastha Brahman, if I may call him. I'll break it down even further. Comes down from Nagpur, becomes the Chief Minister. It's been tough for a Brahmin. Remember, he couldn't go into Marathwada.
If any RSS person is watching, he'll say Rajdeep is being unfair because we've grown much beyond just the Brahmins.
One minute. Devendra Fadnavis could not go into rural Marathwada because the Maratha factor was so strong. Brahman, it's not that. My point is, it's not easy for a Brahman to rule Maharashtra. Yes. It was used by his opponents also. So for Devendra Fadnavis to achieve what he has is a great credit to him. I think he is a potential CEO-style Chief Minister. His critics say he has played, and he will have to look at that, a lot of jod-tod politics, and it cost him. But I think, you know, you live and learn. If he learns from that, he made a lot of enemies as a result across party lines. I think this time, with this kind of victory, he will hopefully learn.
Is there a remote possibility that he might not be the CM?
What is the possibility? Why?
I don't know. I'm just exploring.
No, I don't think so. I think Rajat, you're right.
Let's not. I think Rajat has a point. The more you keep saying, then they'll spring a surprise at the last moment. Yeah, let's see what happens.
No, 1 minute. The only surprise that can be is Eknath Shinde stays on. There can be no third person. Now you can't tell me that BJP will pull out...
Shivraj Singh Chauhan won the election in Madhya Pradesh.
This is not the same. Shivraj Singh Chauhan had already been Chief Minister for over 15 years. BJP said generational change. You can't say generational change.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying let them announce. We are saying with so much conviction. Let the people.
You see, I'm on a roll. I got one state right. I've got everything wrong in 2024. This is the first time I've got an election right.
Not on a roll, but yes, you got it right.
I said Mahayuti. I came back. I said I didn't expect 220. I thought 170. But my point is, Devendra Fadnavis, if he doesn't become Chief Minister now, what do you do? If with such a big change, you can't.
Let them decide. Let the studio.
The one person who will remain Up Mukhyamantri is our friend Ajit Pawar for the 6th time.
Do you think he still will?
But he was reconciled to it. He was reconciled to it. He knew his position, and they've punched hard. And they won a disproportionately high number of seats.
Yeah, so we have to see what they do with him. We have to see what they do with him.
Anil Antony joins us. Anil Antony is now a leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is a massive victory. You know, winning in this fashion, would you accept that this is beyond your wildest imagination, that while you were hoping to win, 216 is just Happy New Year, come a little early for the BJP?
Thank you. No, we were expecting a win, and we were very sure that our alliance, it is a very formidable alliance that we had created in the state, and we are very sure of a victory. It was only a question of margin, and now the numbers are as per our expectations. This is a clear thumbs up by the people of Maharashtra that a lot has changed after 2024, where in the Lok Sabha elections, this was one of the few states where the India Alliance, this new alliance, had done slightly better than the NDA. But within 5 months, things have drastically changed. Within 5 months now, we are getting our biggest ever margin in the state, where we didn't do as well as we expected in 24. And this is a big thumbs up for the our Prime Minister's vision of Vikasit Bharat, the desire of people to have a double-engine government, and also the work we have done as a coalition in the last few years, where there was a large amount of developmental work. Our opposition.
You come from the state of Kerala.
To create narrations.
Kerala now has a new MP, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra,
Yes.
Anil, romping home in style in Wayanad. How do you see PGV's entry into the Lok Sabha, which starts Monday, impacting what will happen in the Lok Sabha? She's going to be a player in the state that you come from.
No, this election itself, this is, I believe, one of the reasons why across India the Congress party is getting dismissed by the people, because this election in Wayanad itself was an election that was forced to the people of Wayanad, where, and yes, Priyanka is winning by a fairly good margin, but you look at 2019 and 24 numbers of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and his victory in Wayanad, Priyanka Gandhi's margin will be lesser. So it is not, comparatively, when compared to the last two elections, the Gandhi family and the Congress is doing slightly worse than the last two times also. Priyanka Gandhi, yes, it was not that long ago that she was the face of the Congress in UP. She was supposed to be the person who was supposed to fight the UP Chief Minister and BJP in UP, and now suddenly she is also in Wayanad.
Let's pivot for a moment to Jharkhand,
having a fight with one of her more...
The one piece of bad news for the BJP comes, you've got the India Alliance at 49, the NDA at 30. Where do you think Jharkhand went wrong? Why could you not put up a good fight in Jharkhand like you have in Maharashtra?
No. See, right now I would say it is too early for us to analyze the results of what went wrong or right. There are still 4 or 5 rounds of counting left in many constituencies also. The difference is around 10 seats, so we are still optimistic that things could change. And at the same time, we are putting a good fight there in Jharkhand also, where by vote share we are the largest party in the state at this moment. But yes, numerically we are not, we hope that we can have a last minute surge. We are not writing anything off. At this moment, the Bharatiya Janata Party is very happy with the results across India. In Maharashtra, we are having a record performance. The Bypolls in UP, Assam, many states we are doing very well. Kerala also, at this moment when I speak, there is a Bypoll happening in Palakkad, where we are slightly ahead after 9 rounds. So things are good for the Bharatiya Janata Party today. This is a thumbs up for the party across India, where there is a desire by the people to have double-engine governments everywhere.
Anil Antony, there was a slogan that was used in this election which became contentious. Ek hai to safe hai, batenge to katenge. Now, you could argue that in UP, Yogi Adityanath has won. You've done remarkably, spectacularly well in Maharashtra and not so well in Jharkhand. Is this slogan, you believe, a factor? Was it the Mahila factor, the fact that Latki Bahin in Maharashtra and Maya in Jharkhand will be seen as the winning ticket? Do you believe the sloganeering of the BJP won you the election? Was there Hindu consolidation in your view?
See, it's a combination of many factors. We wouldn't say Hindu consolidation. Our leaders did say, ek hai to safe hai. Essentially, we are just telling that you need to be united. Like when you are an MLA, MP, a minister, any constitutional holder of the country, when you are taking your oath, what do you say? You say that it is your responsibility to uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India. This is exactly what we are saying, that if we are together, we are not just counting Hindus. We are saying that as a country, if we are together, we will be more
we will be safer. That is all it says. There is nothing wrong in that particular slogan which we had. And women empowerment, like you rightly said, it is a huge factor in our victories everywhere. Where in Maharashtra itself, we had the Lakh Bahan Yojana. Then 50%, like in transport buses, 50% off were given to women. Then you had the Mukhyamantri Yojana, where 3 gas cylinders are given free for women across the state annually. So there are a lot of schemes that we have used to empower women. Now pink auto rickshaws are being promoted across Maharashtra. So a lot of women empowerment schemes are also a factor. Development schemes are also a factor. Our opposition were trying to create narrations that we are not getting enough development projects.
In 2014 in Haryana, in 2024. And now, if you look at their individual performance, the BJP has bested what it did in 2019 in the state of Maharashtra. 122 the BJP had in Maharashtra. They're leading on 126 seats right now. It's like a full circle if you look at it.
And can I give you a very interesting, I mean, you're free to dive in. Look at the reversal with 2019. 2019, BJP won big time.
122 seats in
the Lok Sabha in both these states. When it came to the Vidhan Sabha, there was a decline. And what was our analysis? That when Mr. Modi is not on the ticket, BJP loses by double-digit vote share. That was the analysis then. And of course, look at how it's changed. Mr. Modi is not on the ticket. In Maharashtra or in Jharkhand. And in Maharashtra, the BJP gained. He was not on the ticket in Haryana. BJP gained. So I think what you're seeing, and I meant, is localization of elections. You need local leaders. You need local organizations. And you need a strong narrative.
And it also
and resources. Let's not be honest. No, I will say this, Rahul. This again will get me into trouble. The BJP had 10x, or I will say 100x.
But Rajdeep,
100x of resources
my problem
of the opposition in Maharashtra.
Resources come later. You have seen Nilesh Lanke.
You deny that?
First, let me complete my point. There have been candidates of the Sharad Pawar's camp who've barely been living in a small house. Look at Nilesh. Nilesh Lanke is a case in point. Yes. He won the Lok Sabha seat. Problem is hard work.
No, I'm saying resources are a huge advantage as well.
It's just one of the weapons. One of these small things which matter. Narrative has to be good. Problem with the Congress party, they just did not have the narrative, and it's so alarming. You've been repeating this.
In this case, if you look at it, resources matter, but does the Congress really use their resources? Haryana, you had people, you had helicopters at their disposal.
Yeah, of course.
You had the top leaders sitting in hotels.
I am not holding the Congress party, Preeti, Rajat, is a party that needs to go back to the drawing board and start finding how do you win elections. You cannot sit in, 24 Janpad, 10 Janpad and 24 Akbar Road. You can't sit in 24 Akbar Road and 10 Janpad and have people who are completely cut off from the grassroots. You will be surprised, Rahul. There was a Congress leader who was apparently had a major role to play in Maharashtra. He was ringing up journalists of Maharashtra to find out the names of constituencies 1 month ago. He did not know the caste demographics of those constituencies 1 month ago.
No, but what did they learn from Haryana? What has changed in Haryana?
No, but then how can someone sitting in Delhi, on what basis is that person being put in charge of a particular area? What did the Congress do? 3 weeks ago, they told Ashok Gehlot, you're in charge of Mumbai.
Exactly.
They put some, how? You can't run. You see, what is someone?
And this is
he's a
after
very
Ashok
successful.
Gehlot was put in charge of the Jat belt in Haryana.
After you lost the Maharashtra election, suddenly the Congress said, okay, we need people on the ground to manage things. You can't do it like that. Indian elections, Rahul, don't work like that. This is, if this was a business house which was working in this manner, it would have shut a long time ago.
They would have sacked their CEO.
Right? Look at what Tata's did. Tata's was an old company, a legacy brand. Congress is is a great legacy brand. But Tata's reinvented themselves, got a Chandrasekharan, got the best guys to be CEOs of the various Tata companies. Congress still will say, ये मेरा आदमी है, ये उसका आदमी है, अच्छा उसको कैसे नीचे करना है, ऐसे नहीं होता है. The Congress has a lot of talent.
Congress rewards non-performance. Congress rewards non-performance.
Mediocrity.
General Secretary organization of the Congress has lost how many elections?
You disrespect your voters because it's not that there were not people willing to vote for the Congress.
Debacle is not the story of this election. Frankly, it is the BJP's comeback in Maharashtra, which, ladies and gentlemen, will go down in history as one of the most remarkable modern-day comebacks. Comeback because this was in Madhya Pradesh or Gujarat where they romped home during the Lok Sabha election, so they already were starting from a high base. This was Maharashtra where they were starting from a deficit. 30 versus 17. That's the quantum of deficit they started from. From there, to be able to decimate the opposition and to reduce the Congress to a rump, that is one of the most phenomenal tsunamis we've seen being created. Rajdeep made the point earlier that it was a tsunami. I don't agree, because there was a tsunami that existed. They've literally, man by man, woman by woman, by putting effort on the ground, they've built this tsunami. It wasn't a tsunami that came from the Arabian Sea. This is a tsunami that was man-made. I want to show you how the gains and losses fare when it comes to votes for the BJP. The BJP's biggest gains have come from northern Maharashtra, where it's picked up 7% votes, from Vidarbha, where it's picked up 6% votes, from Mumbai, where it's picked up 4% votes. If after that I look at the Congress's vote share, in terms of its losses, they've lost 6% vote from the last assembly in Marathwada. They've lost 10% vote in Western Maharashtra. They've lost 4% vote in Vidarbha. They've lost 4% vote in the north. So they have losses everywhere and no gains in any cycle. This is a complete collapse. It's been said in the past, 4th of June was the aberration. From there on, Haryana and Maharashtra show just how empty the Congress's nest at this moment is and how corroded it is and how much effort it will take to try and revive it.
Consistently, their underlying message was caste census repeatedly. You know, what is RSS in these 60,000 or 18,000 meetings doing? It is essentially carrying forward that message that we have to stay united, no matter what color you want to give it. But this is a central message. We cannot be divided on the lines of caste. This has ensured that, you know, there is unity, largely speaking, plus good amount of tinkering in the strategies.
And just to give you a historical arc as to why today is such a big day. Rahul, till 1995, the BJP had never had even a cent of power in Maharashtra. It was a Congress-dominated state. All the battles would take place intra-Congress. 95 was the first time they got an opportunity. By 99, 2004 and 2009, Congress NCP coming together won 3 elections in a row. This was even when Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister of the country in 99. Congress NCP came together and won. So this is a Congress-dominated state for about 60 years. In the last 10 years, barring the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP has emerged as the party number 1. It's a dramatic transformation of a kind. I'm not saying that it's like Madhya Pradesh or Gujarat, which is a BJP dominant state, but BJP is a number 1. And this victory gives the BJP the platform now over the next 5 years to try and make it a BJP dominant state. Remember, large RSS presence. RSS plus BJP in a state like Maharashtra gives the, you know what one NCP leader has said? NCP Congress built its foundation on the sugar cooperatives of Western Maharashtra. Now they'll be worried कि आमच्या साखर कारखान्याचं काय होणार? Devendra Fadnavis, even in his first term, started chipping away at those dominant places where the Congress was.
And who's the cooperative minister of India? It's Amit Shah.
So they will now use this period.
They know where the power of Maharashtra comes from. That's right. That's the power they're taking back from the Congress.
That's right. And you've got Ajit Pawar with you. Now you can break a part of the NCP.
The interesting thing, Sheila Ben, is that Amit Shah hasn't done a single interview since the Lok Sabha elections. I have a feeling we'll soon be seeing an interview because this is when he needs to speak. Look at the victory that they've got. A victory which is beyond the wildest imagination of even those within the BJP. A victory that they've strung together. A tsunami they've literally created.
I think because of 240 seats, I think they were very serious this time. They really kept everything under the carpet and misled the print and all TV media also. But more importantly, they were very sure of what they were doing about the OBC and other issues. And I think, as I said, I mean, if you, Radip, you see how Yogi was used, how ek hai to safe hai. Prime Minister himself said those things. So they were really determined to do something. And they
let the numbers speak.
But more, I just want to add one line on this controversy about Congress. It's very easy today to speak in a very typical secular liberal rant against Congress. But I just want to tell...
Okay, your mic is... I just hold that for a second. I think your mic just slipped. Till then, look at the power map of Maharashtra. About 26% of the votes have been counted in Maharashtra so far. Here you see the 2019 power map of Maharashtra. The saffron denotes the NDA. The blue denotes the India Alliance. Just see how the map has changed. This is a very big sweep because the entire hinterland of Maharashtra now has a saffron edge. There's some pockets where you've got the India alliance, where they've picked up some seats in concentrated pockets, Rajdeep. That is the interesting analysis here. There are concentrated pockets where the India alliance has done well, but by and large, if you look at the map of Maharashtra, it's been changed quite dramatically.
You know, when you have a tsunami, it changes the landscape of a state completely. I think the biggest change that I actually see is Western Maharashtra. You see, if there was one region where the BJP used to always find it a bridge too far, it was Western Maharashtra, because it was dominated by either the Congress or the NCP. Now when I look at the numbers and we can see them, that's where I believe the biggest shift has taken place in Maharashtra politics. Look at region-wise, I look at Western Maharashtra, 53-11. 53-11 in Western Maharashtra. Who would have ever thought, even at the, that the Congress would be, even in the worst times, even when Indira Gandhi was swept away in 1977, the few seats that they would hold on to was in Western Maharashtra, because you had the Patils, the Pawars, the families. This time, you're seeing a decimation of the Congress even there.
Because 20 seats were NCP, SP versus NCP Ajit Pawar. And Ajit Pawar is holding on to it. So this is also loss also of Sharad Pawar here.
Sure.
Also of Sharad Pawar.
So Sharad Pawar has lost out to Ajit Pawar in Western Maharashtra, and in Mumbai, Konkan, Eknath Shinde has completely demolished Uddhav Thackeray.
The reason for that also is that
Yes.
Sharad Pawar was only getting leftover candidates. All the prominent leaders of the NCP, 42 to 44, they sided with Ajit Pawar. They were all regionally very strong.
Yes.
Now, Sharad Pawar, when he wanted to contest 80 odd seats in this election, he didn't have any faces. So he had to get whatever was left over in each of the constituency. All these leftovers, if you get, they do not have the equal amount of strength that these very strong regional
Rajdeep,
incumbents had.
You speak of how an incumbent has got the top hand during the assembly bypolls, right? Which is what we are seeing in Uttar Pradesh. Look at in Gujarat, Congress is leading in Vav, Banaskantha.
And can I explain to that? Can I explain to that? The seat of Banaskantha is held by Geniben Thakur.
And
She's
Those
the
are
only
images from the
Congresswoman to have
residents
won a
of
Lok Sabha seat.
Eknath Shinde's residence. They are celebrating. The laddus have come out this morning, and with good reason. I just want to show you on the Sena versus Sena seats. 76% of the wins are for Eknath Shinde's party. 29 out of 38 seats, where 1 and 2 were either of the Senas. You've got 29 leads for the Eknath Shinde Sena, and 9 only for the UBT.
And let me give you another example. On the screen, you're seeing Shrikant Shinde. Shrikant Shinde, at the age of 35, is already a 3-time MP, was an trained orthopedic. While his exams were on, contested his first election, now he's a 3-time MP. But he undertook a 2-month yatra. Shrikant Shinde went to over 90 constituencies, took a yatra through them in the month of September, October. Now, Aditya Thackeray, on the other hand, was boxed in by the end by having to take on a Milind Deora in Worli and didn't really move out of Mumbai.
I just want to give our viewers this story.
He'll be the first Thackeray to lose an election.
During the campaign,
if he loses,
Shrikant Shinde called us home. So we reached home after interviewing Ajit Pawar at 9 o'clock. We were at Varsha. He wasn't there. So I was a little irked, like, where is this guy? He said, I was working till 6 a.m. in the morning and I slept over at Thane. So that is really a reflection of the kind of work ethic they have. Krishna Hegde from the Shiv Sena joins us. Celebrations galore and with good reason. But are you concerned now that somebody from the BJP could become chief minister, given how close the BJP is to the victory mark all by itself? 127 leads. 127 leads for the BJP. They are happy. The question then is, will the pre-election arrangement of Eknath Shinde being chief minister continue, or will they make their own man? 127 is too close to 145 for anybody else apart from a BJP leader to be chief minister. Rajat, what's your reading of the BJP's mind?
See, there is definitely a very strong case for Fadnavis, but I think BJP will look at much longer term goals as well. How do we utilize him in grooming him as the next big leader of the party? What role fits into the larger equation? So all of these questions only BJP has the answers to. Would they want to change the current setup in the state, continue to keep him at a junior position? That is not going to happen for sure. But will he become the chief minister? That is something which only the BJP leadership will be able to tell at this stage.
You know, I still think that, I think the best way to describe it is Devendra Fadnavis is the front runner now. Now I don't think Eknath Shinde is the front runner. This morning, I thought with 160, 170, where the BJP will be, say, around 100, Eknath Shinde could well have been the front runner. Now, unless the only calculation, Rahul, I can see is that there is a major municipal corporation election in Maharashtra within the next 6 months, where one of the primary battles will be between the two Senas. Do you want to once again use Eknath Shinde's clout as Chief Minister to try and decimate Uddhav Thackeray and the Senas once and for all? Or do you believe Devendra Fadnavis deserves his time? From talking to people in Maharashtra on the phone and getting their messages, I don't see how Fadnavis can be stopped at a moment like this. This is his big victory, as much as it is of Eknath Shinde. But
I don't see any change because BJP style is not like that.
So they will continue with Eknath Shinde.
And gave this landslide victory.
Interestingly, it is Aditya Thackeray who is trailing from his
People are showing his the way he has worked for 5 years. जिस तरीके से unavailable रहे, from the starting we were saying, unavailable and not accessible MLA. I think he is on the verge of losing his seat. So I think people in last 2.5 years, the way Eknath Shinde has worked, the way he has carried forward the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray, the way Mahayuti has worked under his leadership, and the way Mahavikas Aghadi or the Ubhata Netas, leaders, जो सिर्फ गाली गलोच और आलोचना, उसके सिवा उनको 2.5 साल में कुछ जमा नहीं करने के लिए, उसमें से एक नाम था आदित्य ठाकरे का भी। लोगों ने उनको उनकी जगह जो है दिखाने का काम इस इलेक्शन में किया है।
सर कौन बनेगा मुख्यमंत्री सर? मुख्यमंत्री को लेकर
it is not our business.
सर पहली प्रतिक्रिया क्या देंगे? सर पूरे एक मिनट
Okay, there you've got Eknath Shinde celebrating at this moment, and he has every reason to celebrate at the moment. Let's try and look at some of the VVIPs one more time. Okay, yeah, okay. There you can see Shrikant Shinde, as I said, orthopedic surgeon. In the middle of his final MBBS exams, decided to contest for the Lok Sabha elections in 2014, won that seat from Kalyan, and since then has been twice elected. He's the young face. He was offered union ministership, I can tell you, and he chose not to take it because, according to him, he told me, I don't want to be seen as a dynast who has not earned his spot. So Shrikant Shinde has tried to distinguish himself from Aditya Thackeray. Remember, Aditya Thackeray became Chief Minister first time round. But you're seeing those two images. And those two images are of Kaun Banega Mukhyamantri now. Those are pictures of Devendra Fadnavis embracing Mr. Bawankule, the BJP state president in Maharashtra. Big day for all of them. And on the other side, you've got Shrikant Shinde with his supporters, Mr. Paturkar and others who are part of Eknath Shinde's core team. They have been with Eknath Shinde from his days as a Thane municipal corporator. I want to give you the Eknath Shinde story also for a moment as we see Shrikant Shinde. Eknath Shinde became a Shakha Pramukh in 1984. He was, of course, seen as a close associate of Anand Dige. Anand Dige was the strongman of Thane. He then became a municipal councillor. In 2002, became the leader of the Thane Municipal Corporation of the Shiv Sena. Contested an election in the 2009 election, 14, 19, now 24. So he's a 4-time MLA. We'll wait to see when Eknath Shinde comes on screen. Mr. Shinde likes to wake up late. He is a night bird. Gave me an interview at 3:45.
It's noon.
Yeah, 3:45
I think today
in the morning.
Today he'll wake up in time, Rajdeep. It's
No,
already he's going to wake up to some spectacular news.
Well, what he did was he gave me dinner at midnight. So you see, when you give someone dinner at midnight, you're feeling good. Then he said, I'm just coming. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Finally, I had to go into the room. Sir, you're still here? And the interview happened at 3:45. And he was fresh. and I at the age of 60 was collapsing. So Eknath Shinde is a lot more energetic. That happens when you can ride an auto rickshaw as well as he can. And I am unfortunately a bit of a nepo baby, if you want to call me that. I didn't ever ride an auto. I can't even ride a scooter well. But let me go and get Maninder Singh Sirsa, BJP spokesperson, is with us. And I think also with us is Syed Zafar Islam.
But Rajdeep, there's a difference.
Yes, sir.
If you were made chief minister, then you'd be more energetic even at 3:45. See, the energy also comes from power. The energy comes from power. Power is the greatest aphrodisiac.
No, but you know, Eknath Shinde told me this. He said, look, and he's had a tough life. You know, one of the sad parts of his life, which he doesn't talk much about, he lost 2 of his sons to a drowning accident. He saw them drown in front of his eyes. You know, there are these tragedies that you overcome, adversities that... And I think once when he spoke about it, he immediately told me, Techabaddal bolaitsa nahi. I don't want to talk about it. He dotes on Shrikant and his grandkid as a result. You go to Varsha, the chief minister's house, the grandkid is on this little tricycle running around. And one day I said, Arey, you'll fall. Immediately I said, no, sir, please don't say that also. Because he is very well protected. So the grandson was on a tricycle. But Eknath Shinde has gone through a tough ride. It's a great life story. There are 2 pictures which have been made in Marathi which have become hits.
Look, but can Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray revive from here? That's a very tough question.
Look, Sharad Pawar is... You asked me in the morning, can Sharad Pawar revive from a defeat? That question will have to be asked. He's 84. Not easy for him to fight another Maharashtra election with the same energy that he did. So huge question mark. Uddhav Thackeray also has had about 8 stents. He's not kept well. Just before the election, he also had to go to hospital. I think the Bombay Municipal Corporation election or Mumbai Municipal Corporation will be the final test of that, Rahul. I know we say every election has a test. That will happen. It's already delayed for 2.5 years.
Now, ab kara denge jaldi.
No, it's in the court. It's in the court over OBC.
Now they'll find a way of doing this.
Sure, if it happens and he loses that, then that's very, very difficult to come back from.
From this verdict, it's very difficult to come back.
This verdict, because you know there will be no position of LOP now because the numbers are so low. They are below even the independents.
No, I agree with you, but in politics, you know, in politics, I never write off anyone.
No, of course.
And therefore,
today, what Prime Minister will speak on in Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg, because he always gives a Vijay speech. I think that is in that I feel he will also speak. Ek hai to safe hai. Because that caste census issue of Congress will be taken up now, even now.
Despite Jharkhand, you're saying?
Yeah, because Bihar is coming.
That is nothing.
Bihar is coming. And then after that, Uttar Pradesh, 26.
And you've got Delhi in 2 months' time.
No, but
so
it's
the
not just
BJP will be very energized for Delhi also now.
Manjinder Singh Sirsa might have a thing to say about Delhi.
Manjinder Sirsa ji, Sat Sri Akal, welcome. The next big battle is Delhi. You know, the problem with the BJP is its Delhi unit is just not as strong as some of the other states. You know, your party does well in Madhya Pradesh, you've done well in Maharashtra. Your Delhi unit has always been the weak link. Are you energized by these results? Do you think you'll be able to get it one past Kejriwal in February?
Now we have to see. Another interesting thing is to watch. No, definitely we will. Definitely. There is no chance of Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi, and as you are saying, the clean sweep in Maharashtra, this was also consumption by a few TV channels also, and obviously opposition was always saying that Maharashtra mein to inka supda saaf ho jayega, and so was for Haryana also. And you have seen that how we have won with 2/3 of majority in Maharashtra. It clearly gives an indication that how people support our Narendra Modi ji, the most known person on this earth as a politician. And this is the reason that the love and affection for the Prime Minister, and he has continuously been working for the poor and the downtrodden, and that's the single reason that people like him. And
but
as far as Delhi,
if you look at it,
people are well aware
let's
now.
look at Jharkhand. A tsunami in Maharashtra, look at Jharkhand, because very similar to what happened in Delhi. You had Hemant Soren, who went to jail, many say, coming back at the back of a sympathy wave along with his wife Kalpana Soren. Similarly, exactly the same thing happened in Delhi, and you know Delhi very well. Because the BJP unit, weaker, similar circumstances where Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is coming in, he's already started his campaign. You know, even 2 months now, Arvind Kejriwal has done over 35 sabhas. So very similar in terms of what happened in Jharkhand.
No, you cannot compare 2 different states. That's Jharkhand. There are various other reasons for Jharkhand that we'll discuss later. But now if we're talking about Delhi, the Arvind Kejriwal, in every election, if you have seen, मैं अगले इलेक्शन में आपको यमुना जी में डुबकी लगवाऊंगा। मैं तो 2 कमरे में घर में रहने वाला आदमी हूं, मैं तो गरीब लोगों का मसीहा हूं। और अब आप देखें कि इज लिविंग इन अ सच अ लग्जरियस हाउस दैट ही हैज फेल्ड इवन अ बिलियनर्स ऑफ दिस अर्थ। सो दिल्ली के लोग अब समझ चुके हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल ने दिल्ली को गंदा कर दिया। दिल्ली की हवा गंदी है, दिल्ली का पानी गंदा है, दिल्ली की यमुना गंदी है, दिल्ली की सड़कें गंदी हैं, दिल्ली में कूड़े के पहाड़ बन चुके हैं। और ऐसे में अरविंद केजरीवाल का जादू नहीं चलने वाला। ये फ्रॉड जो बातें करते थे, बार-बार झूठे वादे लेके आते थे,
Maharashtra लाड की बहन योजना,
promises will fall flat.
The bravery seems to be working.
So that's
whether
right.
it's
But
in
there is no
whether
such...
it's in Maharashtra,
No, but here we'll bring that
or
yoga
maybe in Delhi now.
We'll bring this in Delhi, na? No, we'll bring this
You're
in
also
Delhi.
promising
Arvind
Revdi in
Kejriwal
Delhi,
hasn't brought in Delhi. वो कहते रहते हैं कि मैं लाऊंगा।
सर आप ये सब
No,
टीवी
it's
पे
not
तो
the
बोलते हो,
रेवड़ी।
वोटर
There
को
are two
कन्विंस नहीं कर
different
पाते हो आप
things. रेवड़ी वो
दिल्ली
है
के।
जो एक धर्म के नाम पर दी जाती हैं, जो धर्म विशेष को दी जाती हैं, वो रेवड़ी हैं। जो
सर,
धर्म
ये सब
विशेष
आप
के
बोल रहे
नाम
हो
पर एक
टीवी
मस्जिद
पे,
के मौलानों को दिया
आप
जाती है
वोटर
तनख्वाह,
को
वो
कन्विंस
रेवड़ी
नहीं कर
है।
पाते हो दिल्ली के। That's the problem with the Delhi BJP.
No, but you've already
No,
you've
होगा,
already
मैं
seen,
आपसे agree
you've already
करता हूँ,
seen
there are
Arvind
shortfalls
Kejriwal
in our
move ahead
party,
by
but
announcing
it is
various
not
promises.
about
So
that.
you know there's the whole first
He's
mover
turned it
advantage.
around.
अच्छा ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ
Because
ਨਾ
into government.
ਸਿਰਸਾ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ go on.
He's in a government. He can't do that because he has only one state. He is only one state. You need to understand. अरविंद केजरीवाल के पास दिल्ली ही दिल्ली है, तो उसको तो वहीं सब कुछ करना है.
पंजाब
But for us, we got our entire India. We got a big canvas with us. एंड एट द सेम टाइम दिल्ली में अभी आप देखें जो उन्होंने झूठा वादा किया था कि मैं अपनी बेटी बहन बेटियों को पेंशन दूंगा, आज तक उन्होंने शुरू नहीं की क्योंकि वो कर ही नहीं सकते। उन्होंने दिल्ली के खजाना खाली कर चुके हैं और हमारा ये वादा है हम आएंगे दिल्ली के लिए, दिल्ली का विकास भी और दिल्ली की उन बहनों के लिए भी हम ही चिंता करेंगे। दैट इज द रीजन द पीपल गोना दिल्ली गोना वोट फॉर बीजेपी दिस टाइम एंड यू विल सी अ क्लीन स्वीप। I must keep write down my words. Clean sweep means clean sweep this time.
Okay, the fact is that the BJP in Delhi will be enthused. Amitabh Tiwari, but there are, as Rajat Sethi will acknowledge, hopefully, there are very serious structural defects with the BJP in Delhi, which is why so far they haven't been able to win. I mean, there's really no reason that they shouldn't, but they haven't been, in Kejriwal in every election in the assembly context has beaten them.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there are structural problems with the Delhi BJP unit. I would say it's one of the weakest units of BJP in entire India. However, this victory does give them
But
a
that
morale
irritates
booster.
Modi and Shah a lot.
Absolutely.
Because it's under their nose and that guy comes and keeps beating them.
Most of the attempts of the state unit of BJP are very cosmetic in nature. They will do a cosmetic dharna here and there. There is no genuine outreach to the
There's
public
no face,
between.
Rajat. The point
Face
who
is
do you
also
take
later.
on?
Let your Karyakartas build. See, RSS was not built with a face. It was built with the hard work of a regular Swayam Sevak. You need to have the attitude of Seva. That Seva Bhav is missing because between the two elections,
Why is it missing? How can it be there in Gujarat and in Madhya Pradesh but be missing over here?
Maharashtra, Haryana.
True. So I think most of the BJP leadership is well off that way. They're not like, among the masses to that extent where you see, an auto wala coming in and, making it a fight for the BJP on the grassroots. And Arvind Kejriwal continue to, sway that sentiment among the local and
but it
absolutely
does
the
make
down to
Delhi very exciting. See, here's the deal. If the verdict hadn't been, if from here the BJP can't win in Delhi, then they'll never win Delhi. Forget it. I mean, with 222 for the Mahayuti in Maharashtra, you feel energized and charged up.
Rahul, you're making a blunder.
No, I'm not making a blunder.
You are
Haryana
not.
gave
Every
them
election
confidence.
is different
No,
to the other.
of course. But I'm saying it gives them confidence.
Yes, you see, we in television, I'll give you an example now. You see, while you said it gives momentum to the BJP, rightly so, there I agree with you. It also demoralizes the Congress. You see, you need a strong Congress is bad news for Kejriwal in Delhi.
Ajit Pawar
because
on
it
your
takes
screen.
away some of his votes.
With Praful Patel, those are the images of Ajit Pawar smiling with good reason. Ajit Pawar,
Sunil
38
Tatkar is the
out of 59 seats.
So you've got Sunil Tatkar in the middle, the NCP president. You've got state president. You've got Praful Patel, who of course was the person who pushed Ajit. Some believe, Sharad Pawar believes, pushed Ajit Pawar out of the NCP.
His wife wants him to be CM.
His wife wants him to be CM. Now, that's not happening. Now, he's not going to be CM. But it's a big revival after what happened in the Lok Sabha. Also celebrating with them is our other old friend, Rahul. You interviewed him at the conclave, Naresh Arora. He was with Ashok Gehlot and DK Shiv Kumar in the past. Didn't work out quite well with Gehlot. Worked with Shiv Kumar. Now it's he was with Ajit Pawar. He made Ajit Pawar wear pink
and
to try and soften his image and smile. He's smiling. He certainly has every reason to smile. Sunetra is of course now a Rajya Sabha MP. She's the daughter of Padam Singh Patil, who was sister of Padam Singh Patil, who was an old Maharashtra minister. Now, you know, there are two questions when I see those pictures. As you rightly asked, what happens to Sharad Pawar and who's the real NCP? For now, Ajit Pawar has consolidated his position, but I think the NCP will go through more churning. And therefore, because they're all joined at the hip. True. And in some way, they will have to come back together again, I think, to revive their fortunes. It's a strange thing to say, but in the next 2-3 years, I don't rule that out.
Some clamor
not immediately, though.
Not 2-3 years.
They will just enjoy the power for some time.
Of course, they'll enjoy power.
Some clamor has started for who becomes next CM. Sunetra Pawar is saying Ajit Pawar should be CM. She's the wife of Ajit Pawar. Eknath Shinde, MP Naresh Maske has said that CM should be Eknath Shinde. And BJP MLCs are asking for Fadnavis. Let's listen to Eknath Shinde.
अगोदरपासून सांगत होतो की थम्पिंग मेजॉरिटी मिळेल खरं म्हणजे लँडस्लाइड विक्टरी अशा प्रकारचा विजय या ठिकाणी महायुतीला मिळालेला आहे. मी त्याबद्दल तमाम मतदारांचे महाराष्ट्रातल्या मनापासून अभिनंदन करतो आणि माझ्या लाडक्या बहिणी यांचं देखील मनापासून अभिनंदन करतो. लाडक्या बहिणींनी मोठ्या प्रमाणावर मतदान केलं, लाडक्या भावांनी तिने काम केलं, त्या कामाची पोचपावती या निवडणुकीमध्ये जनतेने दिली आणि म्हणून महाराष्ट्रातल्या जनतेला मी पुन्हा एकदा त्यांच्या मनापासून आभार मानतो, त्यांना मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो की पूर्णपणे जे काम आम्ही केलं 2.5 वर्षामध्ये त्याचं मोजमाप, नोंद आणि त्याची कामाची पोचपावती या महाराष्ट्रातल्या जनतेने आम्हाला दिलेली आहे. खरं म्हणजे आता आम्ही 2.5 वर्षात जे काम केलं, आता पुढच्या कार्यकाळामध्ये आमची आणखी जबाबदारी वाढली आहे आणि म्हणून जनतेला त्रिवार वंदन करतो आणि माझ्या सर्व कार्यकर्त्यांना देखील महायुतीच्या मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो. महायुतीचे सर्व कार्यकर्ते मनापासून काम करत होते आणि म्हणूनच हा विजय एवढा मोठा विजय मिळतोय. मी माझ्या ठाणे मतदारसंघातल्या कोपरी-पाच पकाडी मतदारसंघातले देखील मतदारांना धन्यवाद देतो की खूप मोठ्या लीडने, मार्जिनने त्यांनी मला विजयी करण्याचं काम करतायत आणि त्यामुळे मी पुन्हा एकदा सगळ्यांना मनापासून खूप खूप शुभेच्छा, मनापासून सगळ्यांचं, सर्व मतदारांचं मनापासून अभिनंदन. आज मैं महाराष्ट्र के तमाम मतदाताओं को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, उनका अभिनंदन करता हूँ क्योंकि ये विक्ट्री जो है ये लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री है. ये मैंने कहा था कि महायुति को थम्पिंग मेजॉरिटी मिलेगी और इसीलिए मैं तमाम मतदाता जो है, मेरी लाडली बहनों को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ, लाडले किसानों को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ और लाडले हमारे भाई हैं, लाडले सीनियर सिटीजन हैं, सभी वर्ग जो है, सभी वर्ग को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि उन्होंने ऐसी विजयश्री प्राप्त कर दी है कि न भूतो न भविष्य तो ऐसी विक्ट्री जो इस बार मिली है, जो 2-2.5 साल हमारी महायुति ने काम किया है. ये महायुति ने जो काम किया है उसके काम के ऊपर ये जनता ने शिक्कामोर्तब किया है, काम को तवज्जो दिया है, प्राथमिकता दी है और इसीलिए महायुति को इतनी बड़ी जीत हासिल हुई है. इसलिए मैं महायुति के पूरे महाराष्ट्र की जनता को तो आई हूँ, उनका स्वागत करता हूँ, लेकिन महायुति के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ. उन्होंने जो काम किया है बहुत ही बढ़िया काम किया है और इस चुनाव में हमारे महायुति को जिताया है, इसलिए मैं बहुत बहुत उनका आभारी हूँ.
हाँ सर, ले रहे. We are joined at this time by Dr. Shrikant Shinde, son of Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, Member of Parliament of the Shinde Sena from Kalyan. Thank you very much, Dr. Shinde, for joining us. Your first reaction on one of the most historic victories for your alliance in Maharashtra in recent decades.
I will thank all the voters and Janta of Maharashtra who preferred only development rather than the fake narrative. मैं सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अदा करता हूँ, सभी का बहुत बहुत तहे दिल से अभिनंदन करता हूँ, सभी महायुति के कार्यकर्ताओं का धन्यवाद अदा करता हूँ कि इतनी बड़ी जीत जो है उन्होंने हासिल मतलब हमें दिलाई। मैं माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ जी शिंदे साहब के तपश्चर्या को, जो 2.25 साल उन्होंने जिस तरीके से न थकते हुए काम किया, उनके साथ दोनों उप मुख्यमंत्री महोदय काम कर रहे थे पूरे जान से, खाली डेवलपमेंट को तवज्जो दिया, डेवलपमेंट की राजनीति हम लोग ने की और लोगों ने भी डेवलपमेंट को ही प्राधान्य दिया।
सर, आप 56 पे हैं, पूरी महाविकास आघाड़ी 55 पे, which is a phenomenal achievement. Quite unimaginable, frankly, before the results came out. But are you concerned that because the BJP is at 125, अब बीजेपी के भीतर सब बोल रहे हैं कि बीजेपी का ही अगला सीएम होगा?
See, we are not at all concerned. We have fought the elections under the leadership of Eknath ji Shinde sahab, and it is ये सब लीडर्स जो है ऊपर के, मैं एक सादा कार्यकर्ता हूँ, ऊपर के नेता बैठेंगे, जैसे अमित भाई ने कहा था कि सभी लोग बैठ के डिसाइड करेंगे कि क्या करने वाले हैं। कभी भी राहुल जी यहाँ पर मुख्यमंत्री कौन बनेगा इसके लिए होड़ और रेस नहीं थी। महाविकास आघाड़ी जैसे जो रोज लोग उठकर कहते थे वहां पर कि महाविकास आघाड़ी में नाना पटोले जी को बनना चाहिए, उद्धव जी को बनना चाहिए, इसको बनना चाहिए, उसको बनना चाहिए, हम लोग ने कभी कहा नहीं। हम लोग ने सिर्फ लोगों को कहा कि 2.25 साल में हम लोग ने जो काम किया वो काम हमें आगे लेके जाना है।
बट श्रीकांत, आपने अभी राजदीप यार, आपने अभी कहा कि एकनाथ शिंदे के नेतृत्व में, तो क्या आप मानते हैं ये कहीं ना कहीं कि कंटिन्यूटी के लिए एकनाथ शिंदे को रहना चाहिए या नहीं? पार्टी कार्यकर्ता होने के नाते, आपने कहा आप कार्यकर्ता है, कार्यकर्ता का क्या मूड है?
चीफ मिनिस्टर के नेतृत्व में तो होता है सब कुछ, और मुझे लगता है कि सभी लोग मिलकर यहाँ पर डिसाइड करेंगे, क्योंकि ये कभी भी कुर्सी किसको मिलेगी इसकी लड़ाई नहीं हम लोग ने लड़ी, ना कि शिंदे साहब ने भी नहीं लड़ी। हम कार्यकर्ता, अगर आप पूछोगे कार्यकर्ता को क्या लगता है, तो ऑब्वियस है कार्यकर्ता को तो अभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को लगेगा उनका नेता बड़े पोजीशन पे पहुंचे, हमारे कार्यकर्ता को लगेगा हमारा नेता जो है बड़ी पोजीशन पे पहुंचे। तो ये जो है ये कार्यकर्ता का लगना ये स्वाभाविक है कार्यकर्ता करके, लेकिन जब हम अलायंस में लड़ते हैं तो एक साथ मिलकर निर्णय यहाँ पर होते हैं, तो मुझे लगता है कि कुछ दिन में आपको, कुछ समय में आपको पता चल जाएगा।
कुछ दिन आप मुझे अच्छा समय, क्योंकि 26 तक सरकार बननी है, प्रेसिडेंट रूल, तो आपको नहीं, बट आप मुझे कह रहे हैं अगर आप होते तो आपको कह रहा है कार्यकर्ता शिवसेना के चाहते एकनाथ शिंदे रहे, बीजेपी चाहती है फडणवीस जी, लेकिन ये बड़े आराम से सुलझा जाएगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम कोई टेंशन नहीं होगी।
सर मुझे लगता है क्योंकि उसकी लड़ाई नहीं थी सर, चीफ मिनिस्टर पोस्ट की कभी यहाँ पर लड़ाई नहीं थी। यहाँ पर सभी लोग जो है काम कर रहे थे, और जिस तरीके से सभी नेता बैठेंगे, बात करेंगे, डिसाइड करेंगे क्या करना है और लोगों को क्या चाहिए।
ओके, तो श्रीकांत शिंदे, कांग्रेचुलेशंस वंस अगेन।
इज दिस बियॉन्ड योर एक्सपेक्टेशंस डॉक्टर शिंदे कि आप 56 पे हो गए, पूरा एमवीए 55 पे?
You should talk to राजदीप जी, मैंने उनको क्या नंबर बोला था।
नहीं, बट देखिए ना, आप मुझ पर ये मत करिए, मैं आपने मुझे कहा था आपकी बड़ी
बात होती थी ना, पर्सनल बात भी तो होती थी।
नहीं, आपकी बात
आंकड़ा है 50 to 60 रहेगा, आज वैसे ही दिखाई दे रहा है।
पर आप मानते हैं, मैंने भी कहा था आपको कि आपकी महायुति जीत रही है।
सर आपका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने जिस तरीके से एनालिसिस किया, एनालिसिस भी 100% हुआ।
हाँ, तो पर मेरा 220 का नंबर नहीं था, 220 सबके 220 तो कहाँ से कहाँ पर,
नो बट इट रेज
लोगों को डेवलपमेंट की राजनीति चाहिए सर, लोगों को रोज गाली गलौज, आलोचना, टीका टिप्पणी ये नहीं चाहिए सर। लोगों को जो उनके लिए काम करे, लोगों को क्या चाहिए ये सरकार को करना जरूरी है। 2.5 साल में आपने देखा कि किस तरीके से महाविकास आघाड़ी की सरकार ने परफॉर्म किया, और 2.25 साल में आपने देखा महायुति की सरकार ने किस तरीके से परफॉर्म किया।
क्या अब आप बाकी जो यूबीटी के एमएलएज हैं 18 हैं इस वक्त, क्या आप उनको इनवाइट करेंगे कि अब ज्यादा तो बचा नहीं वहां पे, यहाँ पे आ जाओ?
अरे वो उनका सवाल है, मुझे लगता है, और कुछ उसी तरीके से आने वाले समय में आपको देखने के लिए मिल सकता है, क्योंकि लोगों का विश्वास तो खो दिया है उन्होंने।
वन फाइनल क्वेश्चन श्रीकांत, क्या ये हो सकता है कि शिवसेना एक साथ सब आ जाए एक बार फिर? इतने कम एमएलए उनके भी बचे हैं, आदित्य ठाकरे खुद पीछे चल रहे हैं, क्या आप समझते हैं एक बार फिर शिवसेना एक साथ आ सकती है?
राजदीप जी, उन्होंने उनका मार्ग जो है ना, उन्होंने चुन लिया है। उस मार्ग से उनको कोई भटका नहीं सकता। उन्होंने उनका मार्ग जो है चुन लिया, इसलिए उस मार्ग पर वो चले और जहां उनको पहुंचना था वो पहुंच गए। तो उस मार्ग से उनको आप भी नहीं और मैं भी नहीं और कोई नहीं वापस बुला सकता।
Okay, Shrikant Shinde, the orthopedic surgeon turned politician. Good luck to you and to your party. कौन बनेगा मुख्यमंत्री अब अगला डिबेट होगा वो अगले 48
what a big victory this is, regardless of how this goes. 57 for the Eknath Shinde Sena, 53 for all of MVA. This is beyond their wildest imagination as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Each of the MLAs who've defected have won. So, it's very interesting. All those who broke away with him, the 40-odd so-called gaddars, whether you like it or not, I mean, I have my problems of the kind of politics that was waged and the allegations of money changing hands, but they won the election. People reward the
original sin was done by Uddhav Thackeray. It will haunt him perpetually because see, this is Gaddari, original Gaddari was done by him.
Sorry, say that again.
Original Gaddari was done by Uddhav Thackeray.
Triggered by Sanjay Raut.
Sanjay Raut is a character and I can't even fathom how he is still in the job of being a spokesperson and completely destroying whatever credibility Uddhav Thackeray had left. My point is, in 2019, the resounding mandate was for BJP Shiv Sena to together carry on. We wouldn't have seen the mess that we saw over the past 5 years. Yes. I think the original sin, therefore, once you conduct, you cannot accuse others repeatedly of the same thing. And I think this should settle that affair. Uddhav Thackeray should also, because of health reasons, in all likelihood, he will retire. Aditya Thackeray, if he's serious, he will have to rebuild the party, work hard, and ensure that, there is something more than this Gaddari thing that he wants to perpetually sell. For the past 4 months, these so-called Gaddars have gone to the ground and have worked really hard and have won the minds and hearts of the people.
No, before that, he'll need to win his own election.
There is a larger point here, which is that in Indian politics, one check can be encashed only once. Whether it is, say, Arakshan Khatre mein hai, Constitution Khatre mein hai, you try and present the same check in an assembly context, it doesn't necessarily work. I mean, there were other checks which the Mahavikas Aghadi could have tried to present to the voters, the check of soybean prices, cotton prices, there were other things to be said. They presented the same old check which worked for them last time and it bounced at the hustings this time round. That is the reality. You can't present the same check again and again. Those are images from Baramati in Maharashtra, the Ghanti of Ajit Pawar ringing loud, and they've come out. The problem though is with 124 for the BJP, 56 for the Eknath Shinde Sena, this is a kind of verdict which is not Ajit Pawar's ideal 37, right? Because now they don't really need them. That's a big problem.
No, they don't, and therefore we'll see how the NCP, how the two NCP factions work together. I still believe at some stage there could be a reconciliation. I think as Shrikant made it very clear, no question of reconciliation with the Thackeray's at all. But Rahul Kanal joins me, and he's interesting because Rahul was once seen as a right-hand man of Aditya Thackeray. He's now spokesperson of Shiv Sena's Shinde group. Rahul, big day for you and your party. You all have done remarkably well in this election, winning 55 seats, which is just one behind the entire MVA. Are you now the real Shiv Sena?
Sadhana Sahib, first of all, congratulations to you too, because you come from Maharashtra. And as we have seen, I have followed you closely on Twitter, that your tour all over Maharashtra, then your tour to Varsha as well. Sir, I would like to point out one great stat here. 45 lakh women voters come out, fresh women voters comparatively to 2019. That is the Shinde effect, that is Eknath Ji Shinde, and that is Ladki Bahin Yojana. That has worked, and 20,000 voters, women voters, have increased in every assembly. So that is the major difference if you see the winning margin of the alliance. And likability factors, if you see any survey across media channels, Eknath Ji Shinde has been the most likable CM candidate. So that is what Maharashtra is looking for.
But are you concerned, Rahul, that given this kind of a verdict, where you're at 55, the BJP at 125 plus, 124 at this moment, I mean, the numbers are stacked in their favor. Their man is more likely to be chief minister unless they themselves decide that they don't want it.
Rahul, you're a great fan of cricket as well. So if you see, whoever scores a century, it's about the man who takes the right time, the right wicket at the right time. And it is purely about captaincy. Whoever scores hard, the captain always is credited for the same. So I feel the captain has really played well. for the state, for the Mahayuti alliance, and for each and every Karyakarta like me.
But Rahul, has Eknath Shinde's hegemony over now what the real Shiv Sena is, that referendum been given, or do you think the BMC election is going to be the next test?
Ma'am, BMC election would be much, much bigger by God's grace. But I would tell you, like rightly said by Rahul ji and Sardesai ji, the Gaddar factor, the XYZ, what they started with in the last election. Now, this time, the mandate given by the citizens. Now, how do you counter that? Now they will come up with, Mr. Raut came up with EVM batteries and EVM machines. So where were they during the Lok Sabha? Sardesai ji closely followed Maharashtra. Now he has apple-to-apple comparisons of both the elections. So it is just being sour losers. If you are mature enough, take the win, take...
You know, I think there's some problem with your audio.
Sorry.
Rahul, because you were also close to Aditya Thackeray at one time. So till a few months, till what, a year ago, you were one of his close aides. And there was a sense that because you're being investigated in a particular case, that's why you switched over. And that's what the Shiv Sena says, ki inko agency ka dar tha, isliye ye gaddar ho gaye. You believe that narrative is over, or it will still continue till BMC?
Sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Before joining Shinde Sahib, I had a clean sheet of the income tax. And as you read and closely study Maharashtra, why was that raid there, first of all? And if that raid was there, and if I was in any way negative, or if you could say I was involved in any type of illegitimate doing, I took my clean sheet from the income tax and then entered Shinde Sahib. So earlier they started with something that it was all about money. So you can ask them whether they took money from me or I gave them money. So that is for the Thackeray's. So when they say money, power.
I want to ask you one more last time. Who should be the next chief minister? Who do you think? You said Eknath Shinde is the most popular.
As a Maharashtrian, as a party worker, hands down, Shri Eknath ji Shinde.
As a Maharashtrian, as a party worker, hands down, Eknath Shinde should be the next chief minister of Maharashtra. Rahul, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
But the BJP has got twice as number of seats as you. They have got over 120. You're at what, 55? Sir, they have 124.
Sir, you understand cricket more than me. So the strike rate narrative, what was there in the last Lok Sabha, if you see this as a cricket game, the captain is always credited for the victory.
Strike rate.
No, the strike rates are more or less the same. So 55 out of 87 versus 124 out of 149. I think they have a better strike rate also than you. Either way, you feel this election was fought under Eknath Shinde's leadership. He should be CM. Am I correct?
Right, sir. As a party.
Okay, Rahul, I'm going to be, we are going to cut what you said and show it to the BJP, because the BJP is going to have to take that call.
As a party worker, you can surely show this.
As a party worker, you can surely show this. Okay, Rahul Kanal, there of the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, now should be called the Shiv Sena, of course, which is their official name, with the bow and arrow symbol. They will claim that they are the real Shiv Sena. Appreciate your joining us. One more time, let's set that. You're hearing every Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde group guy saying, हमको मुख्यमंत्री चाहिए. He is one under our leadership.
But Rajdeep, this is actually the right time to debate on the chief ministership.
Yeah, please
look at for the parties in the Yuti, they should come out, show their logics, various kinds of logic to claim the throne.
Yes.
The problem with MVA is that till yesterday they were only fighting for who is going to the chief minister without even winning the mandate for it. They had a misplaced priority throughout the election. Look at every single utterance of Mr. Sanjay Raut over the past 1 month. Other than chief minister topic, he did not pick up even a single issue in any of the pressers that he did, any of the press conference. He shamelessly, every morning, 9 a.m., he's before the pressers. All the press people are sitting there. He's only debating, we should get these many seats because we are the natural claimant of the chief minister position. That was not the time to debate that, because you completely belittled the voters in the entire equation. You were not talking about the voters' concerns. You were concerned more about your own party leader claiming to be the next chief minister. That was one of the biggest mistakes that he did, and he led the entire Mahavikas Aghadi completely on a wrong trajectory, only fighting about chief ministership when, there was nothing in hand left.
And there was a fight yesterday, before the results were announced, that who will be the chief minister, Nana Patole or Uddhav Thackeray, between the Shiv Sena and Congress. So they were
so,
celebrating even before the victory.
forget that. They've now, I don't know whether Nana Patole, I must check.
He's leading.
He's
I just
leading.
checked,
Okay, so
yeah.
he's one of the few candidates who's surviving this tsunami. He could well end up then as the leader of the opposition.
There is a BJP rebel there.
I don't think he's going to be the leader of opposition. Shiv Sena UBT is getting more than Congress. He's doing better than Congress.
So we'll have to see the final numbers. We'll have to see. But he'll be one of
UBT is the number one
Let's
party.
put it this way.
But you need to have the numbers in the state also.
No, you'll be okay. You can get your 10%. You need 10%
But
of
who
that.
has 28?
But
Rajdeep, as a grouping, they will announce that.
But Rajdeep, something that was said, right?
Yes.
That Sharad Pawar worked through it all. How the NCP Sharad Pawar of the entire Mahavikas Aghadi grouping was the one who was most prepared on the ground. They've done terribly.
They've done terribly, yes.
Lower than others.
Way lower than others.
Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi will survive.
It just shows
Will it
that the leaders went with Ajit Pawar. The local leaders all went with Ajit Pawar. And Sharad Pawar, who was able to get the sympathy in Lok Sabha.
Development, रस्ते, पाणी, वीज, वंदे भारत, मेट्रो म्हणजे अप्रत्यक्ष लाभाचं राजकारण आणि प्रत्यक्ष लाभाचं राजकारण म्हणजे लाडकी बहीण, शेतकरी सन्मान निधी, शून्य बिल या दोन्हीचा बॅलन्स एकनाथजी शिंदे, देवेंद्रजी फडणवीस आणि अजितजी दादा या तिघांनी केल्यामुळे
our alliance has benefited from our welfare and development schemes coming together under the leadership of Eknathji Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis.
जी नैसर्गिक युती होती ती शरद पवार साहेबांनी उद्धवजींनी 19ला तोडली.
In 2019, we had an alliance with Shiv Sena which was broken by Sharad Pawar and by Uddhav Thackeray.
रोज सकाळी राज्याचं राजकारण कलुषित होणारं वक्तव्य भांडूपवरनं यायचं.
When he says that every day there would be a statement made from Bhandu, that's a reference to Sanjay Raut. Sanjay Raut would make a statement every morning on the state of Maharashtra politics.
भाजप बरोबर आणल्यामुळे एकनाथ शिंदे साहेबांना बाळासाहेबांच्या विचारांची मतं ही बीजेपीच्या बरोबर मिळाली.
Eknath Shinde has got the votes of those who believe in Bal Thackeray's ideology along with that of the BJP.
4 पैकी 4 जागा एनडीए पुढे, उत्तर प्रदेशमध्ये 9 पैकी 6 जागा भाजप पुढे आणि तसंच राजस्थानमध्ये 4 जागांवर भाजप पुढे. त्यामुळे देशातल्या या सगळ्या निवडणुकांमधलं चित्र हे सांगतं.
Across the country, the BJP today has done well. We have won 4 seats in Rajasthan, 6 out of 9
आपला विश्वास दाखवलेला आहे.
in Uttar Pradesh. The public of the state has stood by us.
पुढचा प्रश्न असणार मुख्यमंत्री पदाचं काय, तर एकनाथ शिंदेजी, देवेंद्र फडणवीस, अजितदादा पवार आणि भाजपचं केंद्रीय नेतृत्व याबाबतचा निर्णय.
Your next question will be who will be the chief minister. That will be decided by Eknathji Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar along with the BJP leadership in Delhi.
महाराष्ट्र में मतदाताओं ने जो भाजपा महायुति को जबरदस्त जीत दिलाई है, माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में एकनाथ जी शिंदे, देवेंद्र जी फडणवीस और अजित दादा पवार, रामदास आठवले आरपीआई के इन सब ने मिलकर जो चुनाव अच्छी तरह लड़ा, जो सरकार अच्छी तरह चलाई, विशेषकर मुझे लगता है कि प्रत्यक्ष लाभ की राजनीति और अप्रत्यक्ष लाभ की राजनीति होती है. अप्रत्यक्ष लाभ की राजनीति में जो पायाभूत सुविधा होती है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट होती है, वंदे भारत ट्रेन होती है, मेट्रो होती है, सड़क होती है, पानी होता है, और प्रत्यक्ष लाभ में लाडली बहना होती है, किसान सम्मान होता है, 0 इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल का विषय होता है. इसका एक बहुत सुरेख मिलाप एकनाथ जी शिंदे, देवेंद्र जी और अजित दादा ने किया और इसलिए जनता ने पूरा भरोसा रखा. साथ ही 2019 में माननीय शरद पवार साहब ने आदरणीय उद्धव जी को लेकर बीजेपी का अलायंस जो तोड़ा, वो माननीय बाला साहब ठाकरे जी के वोटर्स को पसंद नहीं आया. और जब एकनाथ शिंदे बाला साहब जी का हिंदुत्व का धनुष्यबाण, हिंदुत्व का शिवसेना ये नाम भाजपा के साथ मेन स्ट्रीम में ले आए, तो लोगों ने उनको भी बहुत अच्छी तरह से उसका स्वीकार किया। ये आज दिखाई दे रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि बिहार में 4 में से 4 जगहों पर एनडीए आगे है, उत्तर प्रदेश में 6 जगहों पर एनडीए आगे है और राजस्थान में 4 जगह पर आगे है। तो देश में ये बता रहा है कि देश की जनता का फिर एक बार आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी पर उन्होंने अपना विश्वास जताया है। आपका सवाल ये होगा कि मुख्यमंत्री किसका होगा, कौन होगा? तो एकनाथ शिंदे जी, देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी, अजित दादा पवार और भाजपा का केंद्रीय नेतृत्व साथ मिलकर इस विषय में निर्णय करेंगे और आपको बताएंगे। आज महायुति विजय का जश्न मना रही है और महाराष्ट्र की जनता को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद दे रही है।
So Vinod Taude is still leaving that question of kaun banega Mukhyamantri open, saying that question will be decided in the next few days here in Delhi or in Mumbai with the support of all the leaders. Will sit together and take a call on that. Ki kaun banega Mukhyamantri, that question will be decided, he claims, in the next 48 hours. So interesting how that's playing out at the moment. As you can see, images there of Devendra Fadnavis with Mr. Bawankule, the leader of the BJP. They are embracing each other. And also Eknath Shinde. That question still remains unresolved. Kaun banega Mukhyamantri is still a question that will have to be answered in the next few days by...
Rajdeep, like you say, that,
yes.
Front runner Devendra Fadnavis, but for the Bharatiya Janata Party, keeping the dynamics going as they are. Eknath Shinde acceptable, Eknath Shinde Maratha face, you don't antagonize a lot of people where Maharashtra is concerned, because Devendra Fadnavis was a polarizing figure during the campaign in Maharashtra.
And even Mr. Bawankule,
yes,
OBC face
yes,
of the party,
exactly.
state BJP president.
No, I don't think, if it is a BJP person, it will be Fadnavis. If it is BJP, the only other option they have is, say, continuity.
Would it be comfortable for the Mahayuti to keep going on the way they are, is to keep Eknath Shinde, at least for now? At least for now.
Because you have a big election in the municipality.
And if your team is winning matches, you don't necessarily change.
You don't need to change, and not immediately. You know, wait for a year or two and see how.
One thing that would sort of, play a role in the decision making overall. Again, I mean, nothing is sure as of now.
But then Fadnavis might need to be accommodated as BJP national president. You never know, because this is a fantastic victory, correct? He has scripted this.
Yeah, that's also a possibility that if you decide on Eknath
Shinde, then Mr. Taude needs to.
But that is also a possibility. You bring back Devendra Fadnavis, but then you want, then you look at your politics of OBC politics. You've been pushing that. Do you have an OBC face? Do you, as Sheila say, have a woman face? These are all questions the BJP will have to answer. They'll have to look at social engineering, arithmetic. Remember, Devendra Fadnavis will be a high-profile BJP president. Do you want a high-profile BJP president? All these questions will be answered. I think the immediate challenge for them is local workers of the BJP will want their own chief minister. No doubt about that. Right. Just as the Shiv Sainiks are saying we want Eknath Shinde, you've got the BJP members who are saying we want
and the posters are being put around the entire city of Mumbai.
Rajat, how would Nitin Gadkari be looking at this? For somebody who did the maximum sabhas, over 70 sabhas.
Then you've got another of the heroes of the moment. You can see Bhupendra Yadav, Union Minister, who was put in charge of this campaign. And Bhupendra Yadav has spent a lot of time in Maharashtra over the last few months working on particularly the OBC meetings that he'd organized across Maharashtra. Devendra Fadnavis being feted. And as you can see in that Maharashtrian feta, he looks like, someone who is hoping, me puna yein. This could be his me puna yein moment. I'm coming back again. And finally,
if Rajdeep is wishing for the BJP to do something, I would be feeling bad for the guy. Kahin ulta hi na kar de. So let him become whatever he does, if at all.
We should not jinx
rather than jinxing it for him.
I'm only saying there are two faces. I'm saying the race is between two. Continuity with Eknath Shinde, don't change your captain. Or because you've done so well, give Devendra Fadnavis, who sacrificed. Some say, as BJP said it, I believe Amit Shah said this at a meeting in Aurangabad, closed door, हमने sacrifice त्याग किया. Exact word he used, हमने त्याग किया.
What is political logic of Shinde? This is a huge BJP victory.
So you believe it should be you think it
I
should be
don't believe
Fadnavis?
anything, but we know BJP how it functions.
So
and
what do you believe?
No, Indian politics, they are very mature people. They will take a very firm.
What's your belief?
I think it's Fadnavis.
You think it's Fadnavis? I also think it's
Baban
Fadnavis.
Kule could be a very bold decision, but which I don't expect.
Baban Kule as a sort of as an OBC face that you take
No, because we exactly don't know, but internal BJP balance of power, the way things happen between Mumbai and Delhi, seeing that Baban Kule could be there, but I don't see any other political logic. Because this time, even Congress party is, when they win the election, then they are very mature. And they take decisions slowly, steadily, firmly.
Okay.
So I don't see any other reason. Why?
Zafar Islam joins us from the BJP. Zafar bhai, many congratulations. This is a historic verdict in favor of your party.
Thank you, Rahul. I'm sure that you remember that day what I had told you. Both you and Rajdeep, rather on your show I had told you. So, century for Bharatiya Janata Party, half century for Shinde, quarter century for Ajit Pawarji, and put together double century for Mahayuti, something which has proven right whatever I had said that day. And all credit goes to our leadership, all credit goes to the leadership of the Mahayuti parties, all parties together. The three pillars, big pillars, Shindeji, Fadnavis and Ajit Pawarji, they fought like a team. And we didn't fight in one particular constituency or the constituency which has been allocated to us. We fought in all Mahayuti partners, fought in every constituency, all 288 constituency we have fought. And result is for everyone to see that it is a collective effort and something we had decided, it worked. And today I'm sure that everybody will acknowledge the leadership we have, the Bharatiya Janata Party has, the Honorable Prime Minister's guidance, the Home Minister's strategy, which has really worked in favor of Mahayuti partners.
So, Zafar bhai, kaun banega Mukhyamantri? Zafar bhai, kaun banega Mukhyamantri is the next big question.
I know that this was the... I know, Rajdeep, that's why I only jumped the gun. And say, because I knew that you will ask this question, but let me tell you very honestly, we are not authorized to speak anything about this because it is something which is to be decided by our leadership. But let me tell you, whether it's Fadnavis ji or for that matter Baban Kule ji or for that matter any other party leader, even though it's a massive victory, it's a landslide victory for all of us Mahayuti partners and particularly Bharatiya Janata Party. We played a pivotal role in this for this victory, but the position is merely responsibility. So if Fadnavis ji has been made Chief Minister and then subsequently Deputy Chief Minister, but he fought like a tiger and see the result is for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
So what would you prefer? Shiv Sena Karyakartas coming on the program are saying it should be Eknath Shinde. What are you saying as a BJP Karyakarta?
Say whether it's Eknath Shinde ji, whether it's Fadnavis ji, for that matter XYZ, whatever to be decided by our leadership, it is acceptable to us. Everyone will accept what one name will come out after the discussion of three leadership, our leadership, Mahayuti party leadership, put together, whichever name will come, it will be acceptable to everyone, irrespective
of
but
there is
party, whether it's
the only downside on this big day for you is Jharkhand. Do you concede somewhere? And there you had a high-profile campaign. You put up Hemanta Biswa Sarma, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, some very high-profile central leaders were handling your campaign. So while you celebrate Maharashtra, and rightly so, is Jharkhand the big disappointment?
Well, it is disappointment. Yes, we are disappointed with the outcome in Jharkhand because we were expecting that we will cross 50 plus seats in Jharkhand, but this is definitely a disappointment, and we will definitely introspect what went wrong in Jharkhand because the traction which we had with the voters and the kind of feelers we had from the booth level Karyakartas was very, very encouraging, very positive. In fact, we were not expecting, even though I had gone short on various channels, including your channel Aaj Tak in the morning, that at 8 o'clock that we will make double century. But In heart to heart, we felt that maybe we are closer to 175 or maybe 180.
Dr. Islam,
considering... But in Jharkhand, we were absolutely damn sure that we will get a 80 plus.
But Dr. Islam,
plus,
considering the success of Ladki Bahin Yojana in the state of Maharashtra, going ahead for the BJP, will now, call it what you may, freebies, revdi, yojanas, welfare schemes, be the calling card, keeping in mind that the central leadership has been averse to it? Is Delhi coming up now and you're facing off with the king of revdi?
No. Priti ji, you have to differentiate between revdi culture and a government who's been elected to deliver the welfare scheme to the people of that particular state.
But Said Zafar Islam, if Ladki Bahin is not revdi culture, how is Ladki Bahin different than what is happening in Delhi?
It is our
or what is happening in Karnataka?
No, let me tell you. If we didn't promise before the election, we delivered while we are in the government. It is our governance model where we have to deliver few welfare schemes to the most deserving section of the society. And more importantly, you have to understand that we have done the budgetary provision and allocation for this scheme. Unlike many political parties who made the announcement, but they didn't do any maths behind that, whether it will work or not work. You have to understand the finances. We have understood every single, the pros
Islam,
and cons.
That is what each political party says, but the question now, going ahead, you have an election in 2 months. Will the same model that was applied in Maharashtra be reapplied in the national capital? Because you are facing off with what I said is somebody who's, who made the mold.
Not at all, Priti ji. We were in the government, and it doesn't matter whether it's 2 months before the election or 2 days before the election. We were elected for the entire five years, and once we are in the government, it is our responsibility, and it is at our discretion. We'll decide when to launch which welfare scheme. And certainly, every decision which we have made, we have understood the financing, the pros and cons, and of course, they've taken the budgetary allocation, made the budgetary allocation before making such announcement. Unlike Congress party, they made the announcement today, they said that they have no funds.
Sir, you see, that's the problem. That's not true, sir. Sir, in Maharashtra, that's not true. Sir, you have a 7.5 lakh crore debt and climbing. You're a man of finance. You know it's a problem. Why not acknowledge that?
No, I said that every decision has been made understanding the constraint we have within the government, and the allocation, once the budgetary provision is made, then it is part of the budget. It is not the statement which has been made without providing any budgetary support. That is the differentiating factor which you need to understand. Unlike the Congress parties where they have made announcement without doing any maths, and that is something which that is why they are suffering. And we know exactly how to raise resources to service what the commitment we have made. And we are not overly concerned because we know we have done maths behind this. Unlike the other political parties who have made announcement without doing anything. So there is and Maharashtra is a progressive state. We know exactly how to resource 7.5 lakh crore is not a big amount considering Maharashtra and its credit rating. Definitely, Maharashtra is in a much better position to raise resources compared to many other states who have made huge commitment without ability to raise resources. So that you have to understand.
The fact that the Congress and in particular Rahul Gandhi made this anti-India and in particular anti-Adani such a major issue of his campaign. Are you reading this also, in your view at least, as the rejection of the kind of politics that Rahul Gandhi was trying to do on the issue of the rehabilitation of the slums of Dharavi and the kind of divide that they were trying to create on the Maharashtra and Gujarat issue?
See, the duplicity of Rahul Gandhi's approach actually exposed him. All the state government who actually did transaction or the projects with Adani Group were either of his government or the opposition parties or part of the India government, India bloc. So they were criticized. They welcomed red carpet for Adani ji for doing business, because they, at the end of the day, every government needs to create jobs, and they need investors to invest in that state. But that time they didn't make any noise. In fact, let me tell you, they accepted 100 crore as donation from Adani ji, by Revanth Reddy accepted it. Why Rahul Gandhi is not making hue and cry that why Revanth Reddy has accepted 100 crore, signed MOU of several thousand crore? Because Rahul Gandhi has given green signal to Revanth Reddy to do transaction with or do projects with Adani Group. But for political reason, he wants to target Adani Group. That is something which was not acceptable to people of India. Your stand is actually contradicts your whatever stand you take publicly contradicts what you stand privately. And people are not fool. People understand those hypocrisy, and that's why they have been Congress party. Rahul Gandhi has been explored, and they were carrying constitution in hand, something which actually didn't relate with anyone, because everybody knows that the state election constitution is talking about constitution has no relevance. So something their campaign was wrong, their approach was wrong, their strategy was wrong.
So just stay with us, Zafar Bhai. I appreciate you joining us. I'm joined at this time by a special guest. His name is Robin Sharma. He is like a mini PK of sorts. I don't know if he like that or not like that, but he does what Prashant Kishore did earlier. He runs Showtime Consultancy, and the man is on a roll. He's on a roll because the last campaign he ran was for TDP. He ran a very successful campaign for Chandrababu Naidu, hit that ball out of the park at Vizag, and has now hit the ball out of the park at the Wankhede as well. Robin, welcome. Fantastic victory for your team, and in particular, the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, 54. That's the exact number at this time of the MVA. Is this better than what you would have expected?
No, it's online what we expected, and I think it should get better from here.
What do you know about these numbers which we can't see on the screen right now? Why do you think it's going to get better?
Well, I think because I have been sharing the numbers with you asked me, and everyone who has been in touch with me, we have been sharing the numbers, and if you can recollect, we have been telling this either it will be a decisive victory, because we could not pick the trends where this could be hung or it could be in between, tight election. If our numbers, I always said that if our numbers are right, then we'll cross 175 or 180. If our numbers are wrong, we'll be below 100.
Your numbers to me the other day when I spoke to you were 175. This has gone well beyond that. So you had predicted a wave, it's become a tsunami.
Yes,
absolutely. Was it the Ladki Bahin, in your view, that made the difference, particularly for Eknath Shinde winning the kind of strike rate that he has, or was there something else beyond that?
No, I think the entire credit and most of it goes to Ladki Bahin, but that worked in our favor. But apart from that, the Mahayuti alliance has been well prepared. Coordination was very smooth. The preparedness, the readiness was much better than Mahavikas Aghadi, and there was no friction of sorts. For example, we campaigned for each other during the last 15 days, and Eknath Shinde ji, Devendra Fadnavis ji, and Ajit Dada, all three leaders have always coordinated well with each other, helped each other on each other's seats. We have always gone down to detailing of every seat. Wherever we needed each other's support, they have always helped. So I think that coordination, preparedness, and...
So tell us this, the last guy you worked with was Chandrababu Naidu. He has this CEO kind of avatar, very prompt and punctual. Now you're working with Eknath Shinde, who works till 4 a.m. in the morning, and oftentimes during the campaign, you are also up till late at night and therefore waking up late. What's the difference between working for Eknath Shinde and working for Chandrababu Naidu?
I think one common trait is that both are really hardworking, and both are very, they never get overconfident. I can, last night when Eknath Shinde ji called and said that, will we touch 60 or not? So I said that, no, we will, don't worry, we will 55 plus, we'll surely will see that we will be touching. And if it's a wave election, then we should touch 60 as well. Even Mr. Naidu, after we won the election, he asked me to analyze that the 11 seats which YSRCP has won. He asked me to study why they have won 11 seats. You should study why they have 11 seats. So both are very hardworking. But one major difference is that here, Maharashtra CM, he's a mass leader. I think he's one of the biggest mass leader that Maharashtra has ever seen. And he could be one of the biggest mass leader that country could ever see in next 5 to 10 years.
You know, he keeps Robin up at 3 in the morning. That's the big difference. You know, Chandrababu Naidu usually is an early riser. And so Robin's time clock has changed. With Chandrababu Naidu, he had to get up early. With Eknath Shinde, you had to sleep late. Am I correct? Broadly.
No, not even 3. 3 is the average. It's 4, 4:30, even 5:30. So, and he, during, if you see it as an example, during election meetings, he used to do 7 to 8 election meetings in a day. Come back at 10:30, 11 in the night. Then he used to start interview. I'm sure, Rajdeep, you took interview at 4 a.m. in the morning.
4 a.m. Finished at 4:11.
Yeah. So he used to give interviews after he completes election meetings at 6 until 6 in the morning. Then 9:30 he gets up and goes for election meetings again. So that's how his schedule was. So he really worked really hard, and I think that's paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. Robin Sharma, your Showtime Consulting, I believe you're also going to be doing something for Prashant Kishore in Bihar. Is that true?
No. Till now, we were concentrating on Maharashtra. Now that Maharashtra is over, we have to see a way forward. There's a lot of work to do in Maharashtra and a lot of work to do in AP as well.
So you've got a lot of young kids who work with you. I come to your office at Kolaba, swanky office by the seaside. Where's the party tonight? Where do all these young fellows who worked so hard the last several weeks, how do you guys party?
We will surely ensure that they have a good time in the evening. We have not figured out the place. I have to check with my team whether they have figured out the place or not. But I'm sure that they deserve it.
Well, one place to party is an election counting center, because that is where the numbers have been dancing. Your team can dance there as well. A big moment. And Rajdeep, it's also good to see a new generation of election strategists emerge. Last time, for several elections, it used to be Prashant Kishore used to come, take the accolades, or potentially even the brickbats. Now you got a whole, so we got many people in that genre adding a level of professionalism to this craft and getting taken very seriously by ground level politicians who typically wouldn't believe, kaun hai, hame batayenge laptop wale kya karne, but they're listening to the laptop walas.
I mean, I know Robin may not, look, at the end of the day, give credit to Eknath Shinde.
Of course.
Robin and all can only do the backup work. You need someone out there who's going to do the hard work of being there. I've always said, let's not give over credit to consultants. The limits are there also. At the same time, they play a useful role in organizing a campaign. And Eknath Shinde, to his credit, was willing to sort of work with consultants. I don't know whether...
But he didn't have a party structure. The first election he was fighting by himself.
But at the end of the day, if I'm going to sleep 3 hours every night for 3 months, be out there going to 200 constituencies, it's the individual. Robin can only provide the sort of...
superstructure.
The support staff. I'm not even saying... It is the individual leaders. I mean... I don't think Prashant Kishore made Mamata Banerjee win. Mamata Banerjee won that election. I don't think Prime Minister Modi won 2014 because of Prashant Kishore. Prime Minister Modi won that election. The backup comes from the consultants, and the good consultants like Robin recognize that, and I think work effectively with different leaders.
I agree and disagree with you. I disagree with you to the extent that no matter what an anchor may know, unless the election intelligence dashboard fires, you'll be misfiring on it, right? So a lot of, for example, the DMAs, the daily moving averages, the polling that they were doing, telling the politicians where to concentrate their firepower, that is very precise and important information. You could be campaigning randomly based on your gut and your hunch, as politicians back in the day used to. Here you're looking at 7-day, 15-day, 21-day daily moving averages for each seat, giving you a very good sense of where you're faring badly and where you're faring well. Rahul, so where should you concentrate your effort, and what seats can you, take for granted?
I'll give you an example. Prashant Kishore worked with Mamata Banerjee in Goa. 0 seats to the Trinamool Congress. Because the lie of the land was not there. Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi together, 2017 UP. Didn't work. Akhilesh Yadav won a pretty decent victory in the Lok Sabha. It didn't happen 2017 Assembly. There is a limit to what any consultant can do. At the end of the day, people decide. Janta Janardhan, let's please not give, let's give Janta credit.
We're speaking as if Robin's not there.
Robin, go ahead.
Robin, how do you see this question of the role of the... we are delighted that there is a high level of professionalism. There's so much statistical inputs, a lot of analysis that really gets me very excited. But tell me, as a practitioner, how do you see this question and the debate between the strategist, the brain power, and the boots on the ground?
See, ultimately, I totally agree with Rajdeep that it's the leader who wins the election. It's his hard work. If we do not have a good leader, hardworking leader, and someone who listens to us or understands what's going on and what has to be done. Whatever we do in back office doesn't matter. It's of no use. If we might have daily moving averages, we might have statistics, we might have campaign plan in place, but we do not have a leader who can execute that. All of this is useless. So
where do you think the MVA lost this campaign? What were you most concerned about? Soybean prices, cotton prices. What was getting your goat the most? Where do you think they could have run some circles around you but missed a trick?
I think, because we started this Latki Behan and women started getting the money, they were not able to come up with a counter narrative, because as an opposition, it is their responsibility to come up with a counter narrative to convince people that why they should be replaced with the current government. So I think that the counter narrative would not work, number one. Number two, they continue to speak about caste and Samvidhan. So my belief was that Samvidhan would not work in Vidhan Sabha election, number one. Number two, people have already voted and pressed the EVM button with that issue in Lok Sabha. There is no reason for people to press the button again on the same issue. So number three, they could not counter Latki Behna effectively. They had...
No, so if I were to ask you this, Robin, since you look at the data as closely as you do, to what extent do you think this election turned on the Ladki Behna issue? And to what extent do you think it's an overall mobilization, including on factors like Batenge to Katenge, which has landed you this historic victory?
I think it's a combination of all. Latki Behna was the fillip that we got to come out of the Lok Sabha performance and created a positive environment in the state. And all these, and the last push was given by Batenge Katenge. If you look at even turnaround and voter turnout in Mumbai, especially in North Indian dominated seats, it has increased. So we believe that it has at least helped consolidate North Indian votes in Mumbai region. It has helped consolidate votes, Hindu votes in remaining Mumbai region, rest of the Maharashtra region. And Latki Behan has helped us increase the women turnout in our favor.
Let me ask an out-of-syllabus question. Are you concerned that given how well the BJP has done, that they could potentially now want their man as CM at 55, they can play off Eknath Shinde versus Ajit Pawar and say, dono mein se ek bhi chalega, dono nahi chahiye, bas apna CM, varna, we don't really need you any longer.
I think that's out of syllabus, as you said. So it is not, I'm not the right person to comment on that. But
Robin, did it help you that you got an extra month? Because usually Maharashtra would have gone with Haryana. So you were speaking of Ladki Bahen making an impact. That extra month from Haryana to here, how much do you think that in terms of traction and what you spoke of, Katenge Batenge?
We were hoping that there will be certain drop in vote share and the tracker that we were looking at after the MCC kicks in. So if and we had a plan in place. If you see that as soon as Haryana results came, within 3 months, within 3 days, we organized a Dashera Milawa, massive Dashera Milawa. So we thought that there could be some drop in vote share after Haryana election or after MCC kicks in. But to my surprise, there was not enough drop in vote share after Haryana election and after MCC took place, kicked in. So, but we were prepared for it. And the extra month, I think we were prepared that we will get extra month after elections were announced for Haryana, not for Maharashtra. So we had planned accordingly. So if Haryana and Maharashtra would have gone together, we would have planned accordingly. So extra month definitely helped to get things right, get electioneering right, get the minute nuts and bolts correct in place. So it definitely helped.
Okay. At the same time could have been used by the other side, which they failed to use. But Robin, good
you have Amitabh has a question for him. Amitabh, go on.
Robin bhai, Amitabh here. Many congratulations.
Thank you, bhai.
I need to ask a question. Did you have some specific strategy for Sena versus Sena contest, or was it really the same for all the seats you contested?
I think for Sena versus Sena contest, one thing I can tell now that we utilized that confusion of CM face that they were having, Mavika Sagadi, because there are two factors that helped, I think. One is that Katenge Batenge was able to break certain core Uddhav Thackeray, Uddhav Sena votes in favor of us. Number two, the confusion of CM face, that Uddhav ji might not be the CM face and Congress will have a CM face, that also helped us in Sena versus Sena contest.
You know, that's interesting to look at this Sena versus Sena contest, because there's going to be a final round of that, I guess, in the municipal elections. So Robin is not going to go away from the Eknath Shinde camp in a hurry.
No, but I can show that.
You have a municipal election also, Robin, in a few months.
In the Sena versus Sena contest, there were 38 seats where it's 1 and 2, Sena versus UBT, right? 26 of those have gone in favor of Eknath Shinde. 12 of them have gone in favor of Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray. Given, looking at it more from an academic rather than a political perspective, Robin, do you think the UBT can hold, or do you think the party is more likely to disintegrate? What's your reading on the back of this kind of a verdict?
I don't think they will be able to hold.
Is that the politician speaking or the statistician speaking?
No, I think because we are getting the numbers from different places where we have head-to-head contest, and we are coming very close. I think this number should improve a little bit.
So what is your final number that are you looking at 60 possibly out of 85?
I think we should touch 58, is my sense.
58. So you should be, that means that the alliance itself should be about 225 is what you're looking at, the Mahayuti around that, which means that you will be higher than the MVA put together. Now that's, that's astounding.
But less flamboyant than Prashant Kishore, but arguably as effective. That's Robin Sharma. Thank you very much, Robin, for joining us. Great to have you with us, and all the best. I hope you guys have a great time tonight. Let us know where the party is. Anyway, we can't come. We are here, so there's no party. Okay, you guys have a good time. Thanks, Robin, for joining us. Wish you all the best.
Campaigns which were going well, like those guarantees, it's so much so that even
so that's one of the election strategies. Always good to speak to them to try and get a sense of what went into the campaign and how this was mastered. But the good thing though is whether it is, say, Naresh, and I just invited him to join us, so he'll be with us as well. He runs Design Box, and that's the agency that worked with Ajit Pawar during this campaign. It's good to see how these local satraps, Sheila, you've been covering politics for so long. Typically, kaun hai laptop wale bachcha log aa gaye, inko kya aata hai? Now they're being taken very seriously.
Yeah. And it's about huge financial game. This election is not much of a politics. It is about 100 of businessmen with crores of rupees at stake fighting an election. This is not an easy election to understand, actually.
Particularly Maharashtra. I mean, all states in general, but in particular in Maharashtra.
See, and my friend has just written that what kind of an election where onion, soybean and all prices were above, but still they have
but
won.
the Congress really didn't make it much of an issue. Right till the end, Rajdeep, is when they started speaking about soybean prices.
Since you buy, I think the one thing they did get was soybean. They did speak about soybean.
No, but they didn't make it their central. What do you make your central issue?
They talked about it.
Much more than...
One minute. Yeah. Forget about their top leaders. Their local leaders were talking constantly about soybean. See, they announced a minimum support price in the last week. You know where they got the problem wrong? Is that they have no coordination between their central leaders and their state leaders and their local leaders. The central leadership is talking about Samvidhan, Article 370, taking on Modi, continuously bashing Modi, Adani. Now that doesn't resonate in some rural Buldana. Rural Buldana is worried about soybean. So the ability to localize an election is something the BJP mastered both in Haryana and in Maharashtra. And I think that's the big change. Look at the BJP. I keep maintaining, I know you all don't like, but this is the difference between 2014, 19 and 24. In 2014 and 19, BJP put all its eggs in Modi's basket. They don't need Mr. Modi's basket this time. They will give credit to Mr. Modi and he deserves it.
So that's why
this is an election which was won by the successful attempt of the BJP to hyper-localize
an election. And that's why it was confusing, Rajdeep, because you look at rural Buldana. You gave the example of rural Buldana. Yes. That is where maximum farmer unrest was. It was one of those pockets.
Amravati.
It was one of those pockets, right? Saw 84% voter turnout. Saw maximum women turning out. Now, you don't know what it was. Was it before the verdict? You don't know whether it was the farm unrest which was pulling them out or the fact that you had Lakh Yojana.
All I'm saying is that the BJP's flexibility showed in Maharashtra that a party which is otherwise seen to be so centralized and run through Delhi empowered or at least chose a strategy that was designed for Maharashtra and decided we will make, you travel, I'm just giving you a simple, you travel from Mumbai to Nashik. Every hoarding had Eknath Shinde, some
And
had
Ladki
given,
Bahin.
and Ladki Bahin.
100%.
It didn't have Prime Minister Modi. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, their hoardings were about Modi. Even the general election was Modi ji ki guarantee. They realized it didn't work. You see, people don't like this to be said. Modi ji ki guarantee didn't work as effectively as Ladki
No, but
Bahin has
Rajdeep,
worked.
you're looking at it completely the wrong way as you
No, you
often
got
do.
it wrong. Rahul, your problem is you are
what have I
unable.
got wrong? मैंने
It's
बोला ही नहीं अभी
complex.
तक.
It's a complex issue.
Can I explain my
Okay,
point of
please
view
tell me.
before you say I've got it wrong?
Yeah,
It's a
you
bit
got it
bizarre.
wrong.
You're saying I've already got it wrong without hearing my point of view. I'm saying imagine if Prime Minister Modi is like Don Bradman and he's the one batsman who's scoring century after century, and that's why the BJP won between say 2014 and 24. Now you still have that Don Bradman who's still the Don Bradman that he was, and even without having him, you have enough Kohlis and Rohit Sharmas and the others to be able to win. That shows how mighty the political machine has become.
Wrong. I'll tell you why wrong.
Wrong
You
case,
went,
this is
I'll
the
tell
fact.
you, simple. You went with Don Bradman into the Lok Sabha election. You got 17, they got 30. Please understand, same state, same constituency.
In a year when every incumbent lost across the world, how can you look at data
That's one
in such
point.
a half-baked fashion?
I am, Rahul, please. You see, the problem is you all think Farid Zakaria knows more than Indians know about politics of our
Zakaria, I'm
country.
saying it's a
so
fact.
I denied. No, 1 minute. I'm giving you hard facts. Hard
No,
facts.
which incumbent has won?
No, sir. Hard facts is 1 minute. Here also incumbent has won 3/4. Please.
This is an assembly. I'm saying
You said this is a year. Forget about an incumbent. Both the incumbents have won today. My limited point is this. You went into a Lok Sabha with Prime Minister Modi and Modi ki guarantee. In Maharashtra, you got 17, they got 30. Because
31.
the election was playing on what? Onion export ban didn't affected you with the North Maharashtra farmers. Elections got localized. Not because the Congress tried it or MBA. Wo fluke mein, luck by chance mein ho gaya. Nothing that the Congress did. Plus, you ran a narrative on Samvidhan which got the Dalits energized
Especially
and
in
bring the
Vidarbha.
Muslims and came together.
So
What happens then? You decide course correct. Let's give credit to the BJP. You course correct. Decide, yaar, local election pe, local factors pe chalna hai. What does the Congress do? Just the opposite. Misread the verdict. And think that the verdict is about national issues. हमने मोदी को हराया है, हम संविधान खतरे में है, and you make it about national issues. And you get it wrong. And look at the verdict. I'm just saying, one size doesn't fit all. The BJP has been clever and flexible enough to realize that. The Congress has not. That's all I'm saying.
Also,
and you saw it in Haryana as well. How many meetings? You contrast the number of meetings Prime Minister Modi did in 2014 and 19 with 24. Much less. He realized that Mr. Modi himself cannot. You were 5-5.
Yet you got a mandate more than 2014.
You were 5-5 in Lok Sabha. You have won the Vidhan Sabha. Why? Because you localized it. You decided Jat factor ko kaise divide karna hai.
But
OBC.
isn't it the strength
I'm
of
giving it
leadership,
credit.
Rajdeep bhai?
I'm saying it shows that the BJP is a election machine.
Now you're making
Congress
the
is
point
not.
I'm making. Finally, after that long argument, you've
No,
come to the
because
same
you
point
said
I
Don
made.
Bradman. Don
See,
Bradman
I said
could not play on this
without
pitch.
having Don
isn't it
Bradman
the
score a
strength of
century,
leadership?
if you win
Sir,
even then,
Sir,
it's
Don
an even bigger achievement.
Sir, Don Bradman could not score a century in Maharashtra, in Lok Sabha, and in Haryana in Lok Sabha. The change, you brought in new players, you changed the pitch, and you were able to
Change the
win
narrative.
in Maharashtra. That's all. You changed the narrative. I am giving credit. This,
And so quickly.
This belief that one size fits all, one leader fits all, is the
But
same
no one is
mistake the
saying that.
BJP made in
I'm
Lok Sabha.
Isn't it the strength of the leadership of the BJP, including
Of course
Prime
it is.
Minister Modi,
Absolutely.
to realize that this is a tricky pitch
That
and
I
you
agree.
need other batsmen to play?
101%.
That's number one. Number
101% agree.
Number two, we tend to overanalyze any election result. Even in Lok Sabha, BJP's tally was more than India Alliance combined. What we are talking about here, that Shiv
In Vidhan
Sena's
Sabha
tally,
seats.
not in Vidhan Sabha seats, pan-India level, I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about Maharashtra.
So it is, see,
Sir,
when you go to any war, you have to do a SWOT analysis. BJP does a SWOT analysis perfectly.
Yes, but you see,
Whereas
my limited point, sir, is while you got your SWOT analysis wrong for Maharashtra Lok Sabha.
Absolutely.
You course corrected.
So,
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying therefore Don Bradman can also get out. Don Bradman
of
cannot
course
always
Don
score 100. He didn't score 100 in 2024 Lok Sabha. He has scored 100
But
by
I think you're
changing
missing the
pitch.
point. The point is that even without Bradman scoring a century, if you have enough gas in the tank to win, That shows what a formidable rewiring of the basic
absolutely.
nature of
It's
Indian
like
politics
Don
has
Bradman didn't
happened.
even get a chance to bat. Only the openers won the match for the team. The problem is Congress, this is an important thing. There were a few things which were working for Congress party since the Lok Sabha election. It was these guarantee cards which actually even, rattled the Prime Minister.
Fadnavis's
I'm telling you, it is important to understand
that's an
why.
important picture because you've got Pankaja Munde there, who was seen for a long time as a critic of...
Bhupender Yadav
I'll give you another example of the flexibility. I'll give you another example of a flexibility. Pankaja Munde lost the election in Lok Sabha by a small margin. The general belief was Pankaja Munde has been pushed to the margins, and there was a feeling that the OBC leaders within the BJP have not been given that due. What happens in the Vidhan Sabha? She gets an MLC seat, so she feels a little that the party is recognizing her, and they give her a helicopter. She gave her a helicopter and made her a star pracharak. Now, that is despite your personal differences that you have with Mr. Fadnavis, you do it. I maintain the BJP is a more is ideologically strong, but politically nimble and flexible. The Congress is just the opposite. The Congress is not politically nimble and flexible. A politically nimble and flexible party would have gone for a hyper-local election if you thought Uddhav Thackeray, Priyanka Chaturvedi made the point. If there was a belief that Uddhav Thackeray in the month of August was coming #1 in all polls, who do you want as chief minister? What stopped you from projecting
No, but the Congress's fear there was it might lead to an anti-Maratha consolidation.
Yes, where? These are all, you see, the point is
that was already happening. But that was already happening on ground, technically.
No,
it's not my analysis, the Congress's analysis.
Now, they're lying. The truth is, the Congress thought that hum to jeet gaye, hamara mukhyamantri hona chahiye. You see, this is the real problem of the Congress. The Congress party thought one size fits all. चुनाव जीत गए लोकसभा, अब तो विधानसभा जीतना ही है. How do you see the BJP realize हम हार गए लोकसभा, हमें कुछ नया करना है. I'm giving the example of Pankaja Munde. You can see her on the screen. They decided that maybe Pankaja Munde can help us consolidate the OBC vote. So you give her a chopper. You remember what happened in Vidhan Sabha in Rajasthan, Rahul? When did you give Sachin Pilot some space? Right at the very end. If they had given Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot had worked together for 6 months earlier,
they would have won that election.
They would have won Rajasthan. I am giving you self-goal after self-goal that the Congress scored. So it's not about Don Bradman. It's because on the other side, you have a party which is playing like Maidan cricket. But you need someone to play test cricket for God's sake, not Maidan cricket. Test cricket खेलो यार. Congress has no test batsman.
उनके बसी की नहीं है टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलना.
वो आप कह रहे हैं, but ऐसा नहीं है. They have players, but they have to be used. ना test batsman को अच्छी तरह use करो.
Give something to the Congress here. See, in Jharkhand, I think it's the only non-NDA government which has repeated.
But it's led by a regional party, sir.
Absolutely.
No, and also a regional leader who was incarcerated. Remember this. See, this whole idea of plucking people, sending them to jail.
But
in all the congratulations that go to the BJP. No, it works the other way. You create sympathy for the man.
Same happened with Chandrababu Naidu.
There's a charge leveled against him. You make an important point. Chandrababu Naidu's comeback started when Jagan Reddy made the mistake of putting him in jail. He wouldn't have been decimated in this fashion. This whole idea कि इसको फेंक दो, उसको फेंक दो, ED लगा दो, CBI लगा दो. It might seem like, oh, you're being very brave about this. But amongst people, it creates sympathy and it's never a good idea. Unless there's a solid case which is proven. Look at what the courts have said since. There must be a very deep introspection of the idea that the courts have since said that there isn't evidence against him.
So that's one point. But the fact
Finally, on one thing, Rajdeep and I agree. It's the only thing all day long that we've agreed on.
I'll give you an example. Kalpana Soren worked her socks off for the last 9 months. Hemant Soren came back, worked his socks off. Mamta Banerjee, RG car hua, everybody said Mamta Banerjee right off. What does the lady do? Travels across Bengal, sweeps all the by-elections. Regional leaders are grounded. वो उन्हीं की धरती है और उस धरती में वो काम करते हैं. ये जो नेशनल लीडर्स है ना, दिल्ली में बैठते हैं and they believe कि हमको राहुल कंवल, राजदीप सरदेसाई, प्रीति चौधरी सबसे नेशनल जर्नलिस्ट का थप्पा चाहिए कि वी आर डूइंग गुड जॉब. उससे कहाँ चुनाव होता है? मैं रूरल बुल्डाना का बोल रहा हूँ, रूरल यवतमाल का बोल रहा हूँ. वहां जाके लोकल फैक्टर्स क्या होते हैं वो तो समझो. You are right that soybean, they could have...
They should have
leveraged it
instead
too
of holding the constitution, he should have had cotton and he should have had soybean and made that a point. The second time Rajdeep and I, this is becoming...
You should have made that a point.
Rajdeep, 23 farmer deaths per day happening. You could have ensured that the farmers are marching your long marches that Sharad
you
Pawar
should have made that.
Badi joke hui, and I got into trouble for that. I went to interview a farmer in Amravati, taken by the stringer, interviewed her, the story went viral on Marathi thing. I get a call from Mr. Thackeray's office, I want, can you send us the link? He then goes to the rallies, says, this story was, Arey, ye to farmer to kab se chal raha hai. It's not as if Rajdeep Sardesai doesn't have to go to the ground to tell you farmers are committing suicide.
But Rajdeep, it's
you
not
should be
just
telling the people.
Taking the cause of the farmers, getting on too late, yes. The second thing, the minute that the Eknath Shinde government comes up with the Ladki Bahin Yojana, you criticize it.
Because
you
there is
actually
no
downplay
consistent
it. Then you realize 20 days on that this is backfiring. Then you come out and say, we'll give 2,100 for a scheme that you've taken to court criticizing.
But you see, Preeti, that's because there are a lot of freelancers. Every morning, 9 a.m., what Vinod Taude said is right. At Bhanduk, which is where Sanjay Raut way, he has a place where all the cameras come and ANI comes there, he gives a bite, next day everybody is reacting to it. Now, Sanjay Raut, he's a feisty spokesperson, but he's never fought a Vidhan Sabha election or Lok Sabha. He doesn't know probably what is happening in rural Yavatmal or rural Amravati. He can't set your strategy. You see, Robin, that's where the consultant is better. Consultant would have told Uddhav Thackeray, sir,
the consultant, Rajdeep, take it in writing. Rajdeep, take it in writing. The issue of the toll tax must have come through the consultant. It must have come through the consultant somewhere down the line because, and it's really worked on ground.
Politician बेवकूफ नहीं है. लाडकी बहन is not some consultant idea.
Who is saying Ladki Bahin is a consultant idea? I'm saying the feedback was taken.
Yeah, sure. So I'm saying, please see the Nana
removal of toll tax was a big issue.
Good local politician, but Nana Patole would also sound out every time a mic was put. Mala Mukhyamantri Vaitsai. What's the message? It's not as if there were no fights within the Mahayuti, but the fights were kept within closed doors because you are afraid fight karoge, Amit Shah aapko bolega, डांटेगा. यहाँ किसी का डर नहीं है. You need some fear. कोई डरता नहीं. Everybody is a freelancer. Everybody says what they want.
Ladki was Madhya Pradesh Shivraj Singh Chauhan's idea,
and
not Shinde's idea.
Not Shinde's idea.
For Maharashtra.
But BJP took it to the Maharashtra.
He tweaked it. He tweaked the scheme.
This idea, now word guarantee was a Congress word. Brought in Karnataka, before that in Assam. BJP took it and took it to another level. You take good things that your opponents also do. In politics, I keep repeating one side. Maybe I should take over Robin Sharma's job. I'll make more money. That's another matter. But one size doesn't fit all.
But, this time, what is more pinching to secular liberal people is that pitch was not favorable to BJP NDA. Like my friend who is a staunch secular liberal, he is writing to me, probably the first ever election won by a ruling party with potato, onion and tomato prices of over ₹50 a kilo. When have you got such a...
So what stopped the MVA from going around Maharashtra, as Rahul rightly says, with a potato in one hand, onion in one hand, and say, देखो, inflation कैसे बढ़ी? You don't do that, na? You have to do it.
Okay. We are joined at this time live by the IT cell chief of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Amit Malviya joins us now on India Today. Mr. Malviya, welcome. A historic victory this was Adelaide when India last toured, or 17-5 Kapil Dev in the 1983 World Cup. During the Lok Sabha elections, you were down and out. Arey, itna serious kyun lag rahe ho? Haso, itni badi jeet hui hai. Why are you giving us your most serious look? What do you make and how do you describe this massive turnaround in the fortunes of the NDA in Maharashtra to be able to snatch a historic victory from what looked like a very tough political situation to be in?
Rahul, thank you so much for your kind wishes. I think this is a great win, no doubt. And if you looked at the Lok Sabha results of Maharashtra, more people were in a hurry to write off the BJP-led alliance in the state. However, a closer look at the numbers will actually tell you a very different story. The BJP, in fact, led in most of the assembly segments in the Lok Sabha election. Our vote share was the highest, and we were 9% more than the Congress, which is significant in a state like Maharashtra. The NDA's vote share was also more than the Mahavikas Aghadi's vote share. Not just this, while our vote share dropped by about 1.7%, the Congress and the MBA's vote share did not rise, commensurately. So it got split. There were several seats that we lost by very narrow margins. And to give you an idea, about 37 assembly constituencies, we lost with a margin of less than 10,000 votes, 18 by less than 5,000 votes, and 19 assembly constituencies in a margin of 5,000 to 1,000. So given a tough contest on any day in the assembly election, we would have done really well. And now the most heard word, vote jihad, that we heard in Maharashtra elections. There were 6 Lok Sabha seats that the BJP lost because of massive Muslim polarization in just one assembly segment of the entire Lok Sabha. So translate that into assembly seats. We won actually 30 assembly constituencies and lost 6, but we lost 6 Lok Sabha seats. Fast forward to the assembly constituencies, it is now showing in the results that we have. And more importantly, the NDA's vote share in all the region was higher than the MVA. The BJP had the highest vote share in all the region except to Konkan, where the UBT faction had a higher vote share than the BJP. The Shiv Sena combined and the BJP led in Konkan as well. So given this kind of a scenario, it was only for us to win this election. We were always in the pole position, but the pollsters...
Okay, Mr. Malviya, since June this year, this narrative was sought to be created somehow that Prime Minister Modi's graph was on the decline, that the BJP's fortunes were on the downslide. Given what happened in Maharashtra and before that in Haryana, do you think it really kind of puts a damn squib on that entire effort to somehow say that the Modi era was coming to an end, and this starts speaking about that almost in past tense? Does this give you new energy and conviction going forward? And does it start, Parliament starts on Monday, it's supposed to be a highly contentious session given some of the issues the opposition is raising. Does this give you new momentum in your tailwinds?
Look, I think there are some people in our country who have been writing Mr. Modi's obituary for a very long time. And they unfortunately end up on the losing side. The Lok Sabha election, when most people think that the BJP hasn't done well, I want to remind them that BJP is in power for the 3rd time. 240 is a massive number. The BJP on its own got more seats than the entire opposition put together. And if you cannot read these numbers correctly and you believe that your idea of what is a victory or a defeat is going to prevail, it doesn't work that way. Prime Minister Modi is still in office. We've won Haryana massively. You know how everybody was absolutely certain that it is the Congress that is going to be winning Haryana. Unfortunately, the people had other view. In Maharashtra, I heard a lot of people who were very reticent after the drubbing in Haryana to come out and openly support the Congress-led alliance. So they made up a narrative saying, oh, it's a localized election and candidates are important. I even heard Rajdeep on one of your programs say that he has access to somebody who's followed Maharashtra election for the longest time, and he's put up a list of 174 candidates where the symbol doesn't matter, only the candidates matter.
Not 174. No, correction. You see, you must be specific. In my blog, I said the Mahayuti is ahead. I said 110 candidates who have not lost an election for the last 3 elections, and therefore the local journalists believe they will win. That has not been proved. It's a tsunami, agreed. I said Mahayuti will win, but I want to ask you this, Mr. Malviya. You put numbers which are absolutely right. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. You must hear. No, 1 minute. All your numbers are absolutely right about Lok Sabha. I just wanted to ask you one thing. There is a 6% vote share swing. What do you attribute the swing to? Do you attribute it to Ladki Bahin? Do you attribute it to Ek Hai To Safe Hai, a Hindu consolidation? What is it that you attribute as such a large swing away from the Mahavikas Agadi and towards the Mahayuti. You've made very good points about the numbers. With one mistake, Mahavikas Agadi's overall vote share was slightly ahead of you in the Lok Sabha. Overall, I want to understand from you, what explains, according to you, such a big swing away?
First of all, the NDA's vote share was 43.91%. This is 0.37% more than Mahavikas Agadi, which was 43.54%. So before you fact check me, check your own facts.
I'll check
Secondly, I have to make the point that I was making before Rajdeep interjected, and I don't like to be spoken over. So let me make my point, and if you have something to follow up with, please come up with. So Rajdeep's told your audience that a certain local journalist has told him that in a massive number of seats, I heard 174, he's contesting that number, whatever that number is, the symbol does not matter. This election has proved that those who are out there to build a narrative against the BJP-led alliance have again fallen flat. Please stop taking people for granted. Please stop building narratives that don't exist. Therefore, it is incumbent that we call out such people and make sure that their commentary on issues is not taken with, as gospel and is taken with a bag of salt. And I want to call out Rajdeep in particular here because he is the champion of creating these.
I said Mahayuti is winning. Mr. Malviya, it's not about you versus me. I could turn around and say you've lost Jharkhand badly today. I don't say that. I respect
I will come
someone.
to Jharkhand as well. I will come to
but
Jharkhand.
the fact is, nobody in the BJP also predicted 223. No, when jab jeete to wo sab kuch bol sakte hai. I predicted, and you can see it on air, Mahayuti will win. You can see it in my tweets, you can see it on air. Your personal battle with me will not work. Please don't personalize it. I respect you. You should have the decency to also talk to Rahul and Preeti and others without making it you versus me. That's all.
Productive. Let me shape the question differently. While you won a big victory in Maharashtra, when I spoke to you earlier, you said, I just need some time to study the data from Jharkhand. You've now had an opportunity to go through the data from Jharkhand. Why do you think the NDA could not do as well as you would have liked to, despite the anti-incumbency, the charges of corruption against the Hemant Soren government and the fact that they were in power for 5 years? What went wrong in the BJP script in Jharkhand?
Before I go to Jharkhand, I must answer the 6% vote swing in favor of the Mahayuti in Maharashtra because it's very important to understand that. There is a big swing as a result of the Ladki Behan Yojana. There is no denying the fact. There was a lot of talk about rural distress in Vidarbha and Marathwada. No one is denying the fact that there was a bit of rural distress, but you've got to understand that the 2.5 years that the Mahayuti was in power, we did everything possible to address both the cotton price issue, even soya bean. If you remember, the Congress went ahead and made an outrageous promise of paying 7,000 rupees per quintal, but the money is not the only factor. There were constituents, there was moisture content, and as a result of which the soybean was not being picked up at the MSP, which was anyway on the higher side. Our government took note of that. We ensured in the final stages to take up the moisture content in soybean from 12 to 15, which meant that a lot of farmers could actually then sell their soybean out there. So, it's about taking corrective measures. And if you go and speak to any cotton farmer in Vidarbha, he will tell you that this government was proactively listening to them. There was a mechanism wherein insurance was being paid out as high as 70%, 75% in certain cases that the cotton, farm produce went bad. So this is a government that was listening. This is a government that was addressing farmer issues. This is a government that was delivering. It is a government that focused on infrastructure for the urban cities, whether it was Pune, it was Mumbai, the metro. Today you go to Mumbai, it is a completely new city because of the crisscrossing flyovers built over, the metros that have come in, the ceiling that has come in. Pune, for the longest time, people were wanting a metro network. It was made possible because of the government. Remember, when Uddhav Thackeray was in office, all he did is to stall all these projects. So that change is really what led to this massive swing. And I repeat again, people have voted for this alliance. This has settled the question of the BJP being the single largest party and in the pole position in Maharashtra politics. The Shiv Sena's legacy issue is settled, and so is of NCP.
Will you extend an invitation to all the Shinde Sena MLAs to hop over and finish this argument once and forever, and also to the UBT MLAs and also the Sharad Pawar MLAs? Is there an open offer?
Well, I mean, Rahul, let's not get into conversations which are going to go nowhere on a television. So I have kind of put to you the reasons for the 6% swing and this massive landslide. And anybody who
is part of the swing the ek hai to safe hai? Is part of the swing ek hai to safe hai? Do you believe that worked? Was the Hindu consolidation in addition to Ladki Bahin, or Ladki Bahin was the game changer?
Absolutely. Ek hai to safe hai, it was one of the biggest reasons why we've seen this kind of mandate. But I have specifically answered the points that commentators like yourselves have been raising around rural distress and farmer distress, Vidarbha and Marathwada. Ek hai to safe hai is a raison d'etre of our politics.
So why did it not? So why did it? Which brings us to why did it not work in Jharkhand, where you ran arguably even a more, according to your critics, divisive campaign? I mean, your social media advertisement had to be pulled off because it was seen to target Muslims. There was the whole infiltrator Ghuspetia point. Why did what you say ek hai to safe hai worked in Maharashtra? Why did it not work in Jharkhand, according to you?
Good. So now we will talk about Jharkhand. In Jharkhand, as we speak, the seats are being counted, and the JMM and the BJP, the two major parties, they are in a dead heat at the moment. We are at about 28-30, both the JMM and the BJP. Clearly, our allies haven't pulled the weight, and Jairam Mahato's factor has played spoil sport. While he hasn't won any seats on his own, he has taken away a large chunk of our votes and has probably impacted on as many as 9 to 10 seats. So that is the difference. On the reason why the Jharkhand mandate looks like what it looks, the answer is infiltration. The answer is demographic change. And we are absolutely unapologetic about the campaign that we ran there, because we believe that the demographic shift in the Santhal region is completely obliterating the tribal identity, and we will continue to make that point. It's a national security issue. It starts from West Bengal, goes all the way from Malda, Murshidabad, up to Jharkhand and upper echelons of Bihar.
But you couldn't have lost only because of infiltrators. Surely you've lost the tribal vote. Hemant Soren has won the tribal vote clearly. He was put in jail. He seems to have got a lot of sympathy for that. Surely it's not just infiltrators. It's a pretty big, comprehensive victory there for the India Alliance, is something you can't deny. And that's one of the few places where the Congress also seems to have pulled its weight, unlike your allies.
Look, I started off by saying that the JMM and the BJP are almost in a dead heat. So both the parties have actually got almost 28 to 30 seats, and they are still being counted. So let's not just get very excited.
No, they've won in the tribal belt, you won in the non-tribal seats broadly. They've dominated tribal seats.
Because of the massive conversion and infiltration that has happened in the tribal area, which has changed the demographic composition of that area. And that is why the converted tribal, the infiltrators put together, makes up for a larger constituent of the...
Mr. Malviya, it can't just be the infiltrators and the converts. Sir, you also put Hemant Soren in jail. Would you concede that there was, at some level, a sympathy factor that a tribal leader was put in jail? The bail order says that there wasn't enough evidence established against him, and that potentially could have gone against you, even if all the charges about conversion and, if all the charges about conversion and infiltrators are correct. That's not enough for them to win in this fashion.